Stadium, October the 16th, 2008. It's Thursday Night Football on LSC, your local sports channel.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Darling Stadium. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Brent Musgrove, Bob Hintz, and Bob Killen here for the high school Peninsula District game of the week between the Kecoughtan Warriors and the Hampton Crabbers.
Mike, going to be a good game tonight. Now, even though the Crabbers are 5-1 in the district and 6-1 overall, and they're in good shape for a playoff spot, this is a very crucial game for the Crabbers coming off last week's loss to Phoebus. Hampton's one of the top programs in the state, and back-to-back losses to rival schools, Mike, would be a tough blow to their season. The Crabbers are out to prove that the loss was a small bump in the road to the playoffs.
All right, well, why don't we send it down to Brent, who has Coach Mike Smith of the Crabbers.
Thanks, guys. I'm here again with head coach Mike Smith, one of the winningest coaches in the nation and the winningest coach in the state of Virginia. We're here tonight with a Kecoughtan-Hampton rivalry that was probably the first inner-city rivalry that started back in the, I guess, the 60s. My wife graduated in '66, and everybody wanted to beat Hampton then. We all remember some of the great games that you guys have had. I remember Kurt Newsom going back. I remember when you all played at Norfolk and Ronald Curry's last game, and you won a state championship, and Kurt lost 7-0 in his state championship bid. I mean, some great memories going back. But passing that by for a minute, I want to talk about a couple of your players. I was taking a look at this young man, Tate, that's playing guard both ways for you. 315 pounds. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
Michael began to participate two years ago, I guess. And last year, he's in the middle of the late season. He started some games. This year, he's been playing both ways. And in the last 4 weeks, he's really done well. I think he was just a little bit out of condition early on. Played hard, but wasn't getting things done as well. But right now, he's playing real well for us. I thought he played extremely hard last week.
Well, he looks good on tape, but I'm just saying for a man that size to go both ways, that takes some conditioning right there.
He's got good feet, and he moves very well, and plays both ways every day in practice and runs hard. So it's pretty hot tonight, so he might have to take a breather.
Well, let's go to another two-way player, Monty Haney, wide receiver up, fullback, and plays defensive linebacker for you, I believe. Let's talk about him a little bit.
Well, he plays a two-technique kind of linebacker, Monte does, and he does play some fullback. He's only been playing fullback about 3 weeks. A little bit banged up right now. He's got a bum shoulder. His play probably limited tonight. We got some people bruised up. I think probably more in practice this week than we did the game the other night, but he is a very good football player, tough kid, and got a lot of ability.
Well, he's just a junior, so you're going to have him back next year. He's one of about 6 or 7 juniors I think you got going on offense and defense combined. But let's get to this last question right now. Here we are at Kecoughtan. It's been going on forever, but let me say this. Every school that opens up in Hampton has ended up with a rivalry with Hampton at one time or another. Now they want to talk about Phoebus, but all of them have been through it with you. But let's go back and let's talk about this Kecoughtan. What do you expect from them tonight, Coach?
I think with Kecoughtan, you got to stop the quarterback, number one. The fullback runs well, the running backs run well, but the motor in that football team, the engine is number 5, Dorsey. Very good football player. He's extremely quick. He's running the option well, throws the ball well, makes some good decisions. He's a very good competitor. They're a good football team, and they get after you on defense. They made some mistakes early in the ball game last week, got behind, came back and just really played hard the second half and had a great game. So they're a solid football team, and I think they're doing the things that with him that gives them the best opportunity to move the football. And they've moved it quite well against everyone they played.
Yes, they have. They've gotten a lot of yards. Sometimes they're a little bit disappointing in the points. Coach, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come over and see us tonight. Good luck on tonight's game. Thank you so much. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Brent. Well, you talked a little bit about Hampton a little while ago. Let's talk a little bit about Kecoughtan. Coming into the game 4-2 in the district, 4-3 overall. Very easily could be 5-1 at this point in time with a couple of losses that were really close games. And you know, Coach Tidwell of the Warriors believing in themselves. And we a bottom-heavy schedule that has Kecoughtan playing Hampton, Phoebus, and Bethel back to back to back. Kecoughtan knows the challenge that they face is going to be on the uphill side. So, you know, as you can see, the current district standings there. Let's talk about Hampton and Tron Martinez real quick.
Well, let's just talk about the Hampton running game, period, and the running game tonight for both teams. Hampton, once again, is going to rely on their running game. Tron Martinez, of course, still the Hampton offense. He leads the district with 1,206 yards and 24 TDs. He averages 172 yards and 21 points per game. Mike, he's going to be hard to stop. Real hard to stop.
Well, last week he was stopped by a very stout defensive line of Phoebus, and they keyed on him. And that's what Kecoughtan is going to have to do tonight in order to have a chance of winning this game. They're going to have to be able to do the same thing. However, the Warriors themselves use 3 backs, and the Crabbers defense themselves, they're going to have a tough task doing something that they don't do on a normal basis each week. Normally stop 1 or 2. This time it could be any one of 3. Let's send it down to Bob, who has Coach Tidwell of the Warriors, for an interview on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I got Glenn Tidwell here, the coach of the Kecoughtan Warriors. And Glenn, first of all, I appreciate you taking time out of your pregame, because I know as the coach you got certain things you want to do and get done with. But I want to talk about this West kid. Listen, you can go a whole season and get maybe 1 or 2 interceptions. He gets 3 interceptions in 1 ball game, plus he causes a fumble, and one of the interceptions runs back for a touchdown. That's got to have really inspired the rest of the team.
Well, it did. The guys fed off him, and as soon as, he came out and I think the end of the first quarter and was laying big hits on people, and they just fed off of him the rest of the game, and that turned the game in our favor, with all the big hits and interceptions.
Well, I know that in basketball they say a lot of time offense starts with defense. Well, it did this time for you guys.
It really did. We were struggling there in the first quarter, or the first half, I should say, and finally at halftime we made some adjustments. But with Grant, making that interception and adding, putting us up 14-13, and that really got us going. So yeah, defense did get us started.
Well, as you said, he was in a zone, and you never know when that's going to happen. But have you ever had a kid, whether you were playing or coaching, that did that much on defense to inspire the offense?
I've seen it, but not experienced it like I did Saturday. I told my coaches on the headsets as soon as I saw him, make a couple of plays that just, he's in the zone, and you can't explain it. You don't know where it comes from, but he just had to look, and he was there. I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah, well, it was impressive. I tell you, it really was. Let's talk a little bit about your defensive team. Since the defense is really what turned it around, do you have some good leaders on that? What is it besides West that turned that game around? Because it's not just one player.
Well, we have, I think, 17 seniors, and we're senior heavy on defense. And so, once Grant, who is a senior, is, they fed off him, and we've got probably 9 other seniors on there, and that's a lot of leadership on defense, so that's where that kicked in.
Leadership is hard to come by, but in the high school leagues, if you get some kids that will do some leadership for you, really help you out. One last question. Hampton got beat rather bad by the Phantoms last week, and, you're getting them, some people would say, in a bad time because they're out for revenge, but what do you expect from the Crabbers tonight?
Well, I expect the same thing I've seen. We followed them all year long. I think there's been one game that we haven't gotten any film on them, and, up until last week, they ran into a good Phoebus team, and so we know what they have and, what to expect from them, so I don't look for anything any different from the first, 6-7 games, so, they're Hampton.
There you go. Appreciate you taking time again, Coach. Okay, we're going to go up to the booth for tonight's sponsors, and we'll be right back down here with Brent and myself.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Zooms. We're proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with 2 locations on the peninsula. Fort Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, and their newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And in part by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home, both inside and out. And by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com. And by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armistead Avenue. Nancy Staton, Director.
All right. Nice job there, Paul.
Well, thank you. That was kind of easy to do.
One of the things that we haven't talked about is Deontay Bracey for Kecoughtan. Outstanding running back. And he's the go-to guy for the Warriors. Obviously, 92 carries, 473 yards. And he's averaging 68 yards a game with 6 touchdowns so far. So that's something that the Crabbers defense are going to have to deal with. We send it down to the field now where we got Bob Hintz, and we got Mr. Bob Hintz, Bob and Brent down there on the sideline together to do a little synopsis of what they talked about with the coaches. So let's send it on down there to them.
Thanks, guys. I've got the privilege to be back here with my buddy Bob Hintz. He's got off the line with Coach Tidwell, getting his side of it, and I've had the opportunity again to talk to Coach Smith. And as we talked earlier, Bob, this is a rivalry. It's gone back 40 years. And it's another one of those things, if you come to Hampton, it's going to be a rivalry. I don't care who you are in Hampton, you're going to go through Mike Smith, and it's going to be a game.
Any team that plays against the Crabbers, they have to try to get up for it, because the Crabbers have won so many games, and they are the pinnacle of the state with all their state championships and everything. And you walk through Crabber land, and you see little kids that are 4 and 5 and 6 years old wanting to play Crabber football. So, so it doesn't take much to get these other teams fired up to play them. But Mike Smith has done a great job coaching at the Crabbers.
And he's done it with all kinds of size, big, small, all kinds of talent. But like you were talking about the small kids, a lot of these kids have known each other for 17, 18 years. They played with each other, played against each other. But let's talk about these two teams tonight. You want to start it off?
Well, let me talk a little bit. I talked to Coach Tidwell, and and I talked to him about this Davis kid and how well he did in 3 interceptions, and it caused a fumble. And one of the interceptions ran back for a touchdown that gave the Kecoughtan the lead. But what he did actually inspired the offense to be better. And, you see that more in basketball than you do in football. And that was a tremendous turnaround for them, because they were trailing 13-0.
When talking about that, here they were down and started getting the turnovers. And you're talking about a Hampton team that at the same time last week had 5 turnovers in the first half. And if you took those turnovers out of the equation, we might have had a 7-6 ball game or something like that in the first half. Not saying Phoebus wouldn't have gone on to win, don't know. But those turnovers were big against Hampton and big for Kecoughtan. So that's one of the key things that both teams have got to work on. Hampton's got to stop them. Kecoughtan's got to try to make it.
Kecoughtan hopes they can get the turnovers that they got last week, and Hampton, of course, like you said, don't want to do the turnovers. But, Hampton's running back, I was really surprised how well Phoebus shut down Tron Martinez. Good running back. And I think Kecoughtan going to have to try to stop him. If they don't stop him, they're going to be in for a long night, because this young man has got some power. For his size, he's really strong. But, boy, you get him on the outside, and you better have some jets on your shoes if you want to catch him.
Well, let's talk about those stats just a little bit, and we'll wrap this up. If you look at the stats alone, Hampton is averaging about 285 yards on offense and giving up about 204. Kecoughtan's averaging about 230 or 50 yards on offense and giving up somewhere like 287.
Right.
But the amazing thing about Hampton, they're scoring 23 points a game, giving up 16. But if you look at Kecoughtan, they're scoring 23 points a game and giving up 23 points a game. So it's a very interesting set of situations. And, of course, when you start putting those scores together, Kecoughtan hadn't had whatever Phoebus is going to put on their score side yet. So we're going to see how this works out.
I was kind of a sage last week, and I told you who was going to win the game. Didn't give you the name, but I just said who's going to win it in the trenches, and it goes for this game too. So, you look at both of these teams. Both teams have to be fired up, and I think we're going to see a good game tonight. I really do.
Well, I think the same thing. I think Hampton's got to come back out and try to establish himself after last week, and Kecoughtan's got to try to keep it on a roll after a big comeback in the second half. And I think we can wrap it up with that. It's another one of those Hampton games where you can throw the stats out the window after we memorize them all. I'm going to send it right back up to you guys. Thanks so much.
All right, back up here in the booth. We'll talk a little bit about the passing game. Let's talk about Hampton a little bit. Go ahead.
All right, well, we've talked about the running game, so the passing game is going to be the other option that both teams will have tonight. For Hampton, Mike, they use a two-quarterback system. David Wofford and Jordan Roby both combined for roughly about 10 attempts per game and get about 82 yards. Now, Wofford gets most of the snaps at this time, and he averages 55 yards per game. But with only 5 TD passes this season, the passing game takes a backseat to the running game.
Kecoughtan is, much the same. Their quarterback, Anthony Dorsey, who is one of the key players that the Crabbers defense will have to stop, throws for an average of 61 yards a game. He has 4 touchdown passes, but the key there is he's also thrown 10 interceptions on the season. So that's, passing comparisons between the two teams, they're pretty even, really. So obviously the comparisons that are not as even is obviously the rushing game.
That's where it's all going to be. Well, Mike, let's talk about the keys for this game, the offense and the defense and how they stand out for each team. For Hampton, the key for them on offense is to reestablish the running game that faltered last week. We saw that game. Martinez needs to bounce back. He needs to reclaim the real estate. And in order to do that, Hampton's offensive line must win the battle in the trenches so Martinez can get loose. Bob Hintz referred to that last week and again this week. The Crabbers average about 203 rushing yards, 285 total yards per game. If they get that type of production tonight, they can win. Now, on defense, the Crabbers' defense is one of the toughest around. They've allowed 204 total yards per game, 125 of that on the ground. They'll have to contain the Warrior running game. Kecoughtan's passing game is almost non-existent, meaning the Crabbers can blitz all night long and try to force Kecoughtan into making mistakes. Those are the keys for the Warriors tonight, Mike.
Well, I thought that was the keys for the Crabbers.
I mean the Crabbers, I'm sorry. The keys for the Crabbers.
That's right. The keys for the Warriors now. Obviously, Hampton's defense is fast. So, that's going to be the key to Hampton's defense being able to stop the Warriors on offense. Kecoughtan is going to need to control the line of scrimmage, which is something that the Phantoms did last week against Hampton. So, again, that the Kecoughtan Warriors watch the films and they that they look to see what worked against Hampton. So maybe that's something that they've implemented here tonight. The Warriors have a solid running game as they produce 188 yards a game and 23 points controlling the line of scrimmage. But on defense, their key obviously is number one, stop Martinez, plain and simple. He's what makes them go. Kecoughtan is allowing its opponents 174 yards rushing. They can't do that tonight and expect to win this game because Martinez is averaging that on his own. Here are the officials for tonight's game. The referee is Mr. Jim Mayhew. He's a Hampton grad. The umpire is George Adamowski. The lineman is Ken Matthews. The line judge is Steve Singleton. The side judge is Renard Whitfield. The field judge is Ivy Allen. And the back judge is Craig Moore. And those are your officials for tonight's game. And they'll be going out on the field here shortly and bring the captains out there and do the coin toss to see who will take over first. And as soon as they do that, we know who's going on offense first. What are we going to do?
We're going to give the lineups.
Then we're going to give our offensive and defensive starting lineups of both teams.
Until that time, will you do me a favor?
Tonight.
Will you turn on the air conditioner?
You need a fan because it is smoking up here. And last week during the game we did between between Hampton and Phoebus, it was outstanding up here. It was like a fall night. A little bit of wind coming through here, and it's stagnant tonight because there's nothing moving. It is absolutely hot. We're all up here with paper fanning ourselves. I said earlier, we need air conditioners underneath our headsets here because it's smoking.
And you said there's no air up here. The only air coming out of this booth is the air coming out of our mouths. And unfortunately, sometimes that's a lot of hot air, and it just makes it worse up here.
All the time.
It's a very hot night, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching LSC, Local Sports Channel, live on Cox Cable Channel 48. It is Thursday night. We're coming to you from Darling Stadium, October the 16th, 2008, as we bring you the Hampton High School Crabbers and the Kecoughtan Warriors football game.
Next week we have 2 games, in case you don't know already. Next Thursday night, we'll be right back here again televising the Kecoughtan against the Phoebus Phantoms game. And then the next night, Friday night, we have Bethel against Hampton, which is going to be a key game in the Peninsula District as far as the standings are concerned.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, don't plan anything. Thursday night and Friday night, back-to-back live on LSC, Cox Cable Channel 48. You got football 2 nights in a row in the high school, the best teams around. What else can you do? If you get the chance, come on out. Hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler evening than we have tonight, and you'll see some great football. You always see good games when you come out to Darling Stadium.
Believe it or not, the fall weather is coming back tomorrow.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we've got a fantastic crew with us, as we do every night. On the cameras, we have Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer. On the graphics and animation, Andy Foley, slow motion instant replay, Mike Nowinski, the camera control operator, Sarah Myers. Production and audio assistant, Renee Camden. Audio and chief engineer, Don Scharouse. Our director and producer, Scotty Bowers. I'm Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser up in the booth with Brent Musgrove and Bob Hintz on the field.
Here, our referee, Mr. Mayhew, give the instructions to the captains.
All right, can you get your help today? All right, appreciate it. The other thing is penalty enforcements. Some of these penalties have as many as 3 options, so I want you guys, I'll try to give you the one that's the most beneficial to your team first, one that I think is. But if you don't like that one, keep listening. I'll keep go through all of them. Once you give me a choice, I got to go with it. If you don't understand it, just ask me. I'll go through them again. Okay? Have any questions about anything? Okay. Let's see. We had a pregame toss, and Kecoughtan called the toss, but Hampton won the toss, and you decided to defer, correct?
It looks like the Crabbers won the toss and have deferred through the second half. It looks like Kecoughtan will be receiving the ball as the Crabbers will be defending the east end zone. So on offense first, we will have the Kecoughtan Warriors.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kecoughtan on offense first, and here is their lineup. Number 79, the left tackle, Shane Rivera. Number 66, the left guard, Rasheed Breland. Number 55, the center, Rick Parker. Number 52, the right guard, Ben Garrett. And number 53, the right tackle, Dylan Reynolds. Wide receiver, number 6, Greg Richardson. The other wide receiver, number 2, Grant West. At slot, number 7, William Tate. And the other slot, number 4, Dominique Collier. The quarterback, you got to watch him, number 5, Anthony Dorsey. And the fullback, number 9, Deontay Bracey. That's your Kecoughtan Warrior offense. They'll be going up against a tough Hampton defense. And in just a moment, we'll have them up on the screen for you, and we'll show you the Hampton defense that will be playing against the Kecoughtan Warriors tonight.
Starting off kicking for the Crabbers is number 40, Skylar Hutchinson.
And here is the Hampton defense. Number 88, defensive tackle Shea Bumpus. Number 55, guard Rory Nixon. Number 75, guard Michael Tate. And number 74, defensive tackle Godfrey Clinton. Outside linebacker number 2, Tron Martinez. Inside linebackers number 66, Tyrell Wilson. And number 99, Monty Haney. The outside linebacker number 9, Sterling Perry. Number 24, cornerback Dion Fooch. Number 11, safety Andy Allison. And the cornerback number 1, Kevin Johnson. And I apologize, that is Dion Futch.
That was number 7. Yeah, William Tate on the return. Gets the ball at his 6, and he's tackled by the Crabbers, number 22, Eric Cam. So the Crabbers will start 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
A hot, humid night. I love these uniforms, Mike. You've got to look at them. That's the old throwback uniforms there for the Warriors, the old green and white. Hampton wearing the old red and white.
It's Anthony Dorsey, the quarterback of the Warriors, under center. Pitch out looks like to number 6, I believe that is Greg Richardson, as he came around from the wide receiver spot. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It was number 7 on the carry. That's William Tate. No gain, back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 for the Warriors at their own 23.
Make the call to the right. Got to kick it a little bit. If it goes away.
Deontay Bracey on the carry. Up the middle. Gain of about 3 to the 26-yard line. That was going to bring up a long 3rd down and 7 for the Warriors here early in the first quarter.
So far, Mike, the Warriors tried the outside on the first play, didn't pick up any yardage at all. Then they went up to the middle, picked up about 3. Phoebus proved last week that you can't run outside on this quick Hampton defense.
Come on, don't.
Flag. Nice run up the middle. Good yardage on the play by number 9, the fullback Deontay Bracey. But there is a flag in the backfield. There's also one over here on the near sideline, too.
Illegal shift against the offense.
That's going to cost them 5 yards. That's going to push them back to a 3rd down and about 12. I didn't see it.
That's going to negate a great run by Deontay Bracey, too, Mike.
That was a gain of about 10 yards on the play, but unfortunately for the Warriors, it's coming back.
Illegal
so
shift
make that
against the offense. Replay, 3rd down.
take a 3rd down and a long, well, let's call it 3rd and 12. All back on the 23-yard line. 2 wideouts, 1 to the near, 1 to the far side. They have 3 backs there. A couple of them are in the slot. Bracey is the lone back behind the quarterback. Back to pass, being flushed out of the pocket. He gets it out here to number 4. That's Dominique Collier. And he gets the ball out to near the 30-yard line, but he's going to be about 3 yards shy on the play.
Anthony Dorsey that time trying to pass to his left. He's pressured by the Hampton defense and begins to scamper. Looked like he was going to run there for a minute, then picked up a receiver, just not enough yards on the play for the 1st down.
Back deep for the Crabbers is number 24, Deion Futch. Like number 45 for the Warriors in there to punt. That's Jeff Emerson. Nice punt. All the way to the far side down to the Crabber 30-yard line. That's a bunch of yards on that one. 40-yard punt for the Warriors, where the Crabbers will take over for their first offensive possession of the game. 1st and 10 from their 30.
And here is the Hampton offense. Left tackle number 66, Tyrell Wilson. Left guard number 75, Michael Tate. The center number 55, Rory Nixon. Right guard number 61, Andrew Alston. The right tackle number 77, Derek Bailey. The split end number 15, Corey West. The flex number 11, Andy Allison. And the flanker number 1, Kevin Johnson. In the backfield, number 99, fullback Monty Haney. Number 5, the quarterback David Wofford. And number 2, the tailback, the man to watch, Tron Martinez.
Offered under center. The 3 wideouts, 1 to the far side, 2 to the near, and here comes Martinez right up the middle. Looks like he's going to pick up about 8 on the play all the way to the 38-yard line.
And here's the defense for the Warriors. Number 39, left tackle Rashawn O'Neal. The nose guard number 77, Tariq Marshall. The right tackle number 49, Xavier Ely. At backers, outside linebacker number 6, Greg Richardson. Middle linebacker number 11, Hakeem Garner. Weak side linebacker number 13, Robert Lopez. And the outside linebacker number 17, Josh Morris. Cornerback number 1, Aaron Matthews. Number 14, Jace DePriest. The free safety number 2, Grant West. And the safety number 7, William Tate.
Wofford again hands off to Martinez up the middle for a gain of about 4.5, which is good for a Crabber 1st down. So 2 run plays nets them about 13 yards and a 1st down. So looks like they're going back to the money man, Mr. Tron Martinez.
And here you see the handoff here. Martinez just going off tackle. Again, the Crabber line, unlike last week, is getting the advantage so far. Of course, they've only run 2 plays in the trench.
William Tate on the tackle for the Warriors, number 7. Again, 2 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far. Hand off to Martinez, the same play right up the middle. He gets hit by, again, number 7, William Tate, who slows him down enough to allow the remaining players for the defense to get to him. And looks like Martinez will get just outside, right after 45, and give him 2 yards on the play. 2nd down and 8, Hampton at their own 45. So far, Tate's done a good job as far as Kecoughtan's concerned defensively.
Yes, but I'm a little concerned. I'm waiting to see how this pans out, Mike, with that 3-man line that the Warriors use on defense with the 4 linebackers. It's very possible that Hampton's going to get 2 or 3 yards right off the bat. And if you give Tron that, he's going to pick up some yardage tonight.
Gives him a little bit more clearance and ability to jump it outside, just like he did right there to get around the runners. A nice run by Tron Martinez. He's near the 1st down marker. Looks like they might mark it good enough for a 1st down as he's outside. He's in Kecoughtan territory down near the 47-yard line. And there's Mr. Mayhew, 1st down for the Crabbers. So 4 plays and 2 1st downs now for the Crabbers.
Watch this play. There's 2 nice blocks right there in front of Martinez as he makes that corner. Number 66, Tyrell Wilson, one of them, and I think Michael Tate was the other one. And Martinez just followed those blocks right around to pick up some good yardage.
2 wideouts now to the far side, 1 to the near. They're in the I formation. Hand off again to Martinez. A nice big hole. He's going to pick up about 9 on the play near the 39-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the carry, so that's he's good average so far. 5 straight carries to Tron Martinez. They've moved the ball from their own 30 all the way down to the 39-yard line of the Warriors.
Warriors are going to have to make some adjustments to stop that, Mike. There's a hole big enough on that left side for you and I to walk through. I mean,
with my
it's
knees
huge.
where they are.
Oh, yeah. Even with your knees as bad as they are.
Second down and
keep your
short.
eyes on this left side here.
Sooner or later, he's going to throw the ball to one of these receivers, because what he's doing right now is he's causing the Warriors defense to start packing in to try to stop Tron Martinez. Another nice gain of about 4 yards down to the Warrior 35-yard line. Another first down for the Crabbers.
Watch this as they just continue to eat up the yardage here right off that left-hand side. They're getting very strong blocks. When you've got a 3-man front, you've got a couple less men that you have to worry about there, especially when you get those linebackers spread out.
And number 7, again, Tate, the leading tackler on the play. This time Martinez runs to the right and gets 5 yards.
If you watch that on the screen, Kecoughtan had 3 linebackers on the right-hand side that time. And what did Hampton do?
They moved to the right.
They moved to the right-hand side. Watch this. All the backers are over here on the near side of the screen, and Martinez goes to the far side. Hampton picked that one up and called that one perfect.
Gain of 5 on the play for a second down and 5 now. Ball right at the Kecoughtan 30-yard line. 3 wide outs again. Again, the Crabbers set up in an eye. Martinez is the deep back. Again, back to pass. Being flushed out of the pocket. There's a pass over the middle, and it's completed to the Crabbers number 11, Andy Allison. A nice play and catch down to the 15-yard line. That's a gain of about 15 on the play. Good for another Crabber first down.
And once again, the Warriors overloaded the linebackers on the right-hand side and had them playing for the run. And on that play action, as we watch it here, watch the play action, he freezes them. And now he's got some open room over here where the backer should have been. He's got an open receiver.
So first and 10 now for the Crabbers at the Kecoughtan 15-yard line. Keon Funch, number 24, and number 11, Allison, is spread out to the right side, and it looks like the Crabbers may have drawn the Warriors offside.
Certainly had a lot of movement on the defensive lines.
Encroachment against the defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Always makes it nice when you can have a 1st and 5 instead of a 1st and 10. Ball now sits at the 10-yard line as the Crabbers on their opening series of plays now has driven the ball 60 yards. Corey West wide to the right. Futch and Allison to the left. There's Martinez off the left side down inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. That's a gain of about 7 yards on the play. Again, another first down for the Crabbers.
That time Martinez went right at the strength of the Warrior defense as they're packing those linebackers on that side to stop Martinez. This time again he got some good blocks as you watch it right there. Number 99 for the Crabbers offense. That's Monty Haney making a great block to spring Martinez, who already has 47 yards in the game, Mike.
Martinez off the left side gets down near the 1-yard line, gain of about 2 on the play. That'll bring up second down and goal from the 1.
Number 11 for the Warriors, the middle linebacker Hakeem Garner, making a nice stop there and keeping Martinez from going in on that play. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching LSC live from Darling Stadium on Thursday, October the 16th, 2008. You're watching the Hampton High Crabbers and the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Goes Martinez over the left side and in for the score. So Martinez will score from a yard out as the Crabbers now lead 6-0.
Juan Martinez with his 25th touchdown of the year, and this is game 8. 25 touchdowns, averaging 3 per game, and you can see this is just a straight off tackle play. He gets a good block, but makes it himself by making the dive into the end zone.
In to kick the extra points, number 84, Matt Cass. Kicks up. And it is good. So with Cass's extra point, the Crabbers now lead with 4:12 to go here in the first quarter, 7-0.
Will that work?
Once again, you're watching LSC, your local sports channel, live from Darling Stadium. I'm Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser. We're up in the booth here with Brent Musgrove, and on the field we have Mr. Bob Hintz on a hot, humid October night.
I bet it's just as hot down there where Bob is as it is up here.
I don't know. He's got a little bit of air breathing down there. We're up here in this booth, and it's all locked up.
Kyler Hutchinson now will be teeing the ball up for the Crabbers as he gets set to kick it off. Deep is number 9, Deontay Bracey, in the middle of the field for the Warriors. This one is a nice end-over-end deep kick down to the 2-yard line. Out to the 20, 25. Nice run all the way to about the 27-yard line. Crabbers will stop them there, and the Kecoughtan Warriors will have a 1st and 10 at their own at 20. It looks like close to the 29-yard line. We'll mark it there.
Nice little run for Deontay Bracey there as he takes the ball on the 2-yard line, and you can see him as he comes up the field. When he had the ball, he's just kind of looking ahead of him to see what's there and looking for his blocks, found the wall, and went right for it.
27 yards on the return. 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line. Trailing now early here in the first half, 7-0. Deontay Bracey up the middle to about the 34-yard line. Might gain of close to 5 yards on the play.
Not a bad pickup for Bracey that time. The Crabbers with a full setup on the defensive line, pushing forward, trying to stop the running game of the Warriors. Watch this on the replay. They've got about 7-8 guys up there, and they're just moving right forward. But Bracey good enough to pick up some yardage for the Warriors.
Give him 5 on the play. 2nd down and 5 now, with the ball resting just shy of the 34-yard line. 2 wide outs to the near side. They have 2 split backs. Bracey by himself behind the center. This one's pitched to the Warriors' Hollier, as he is going to be dropped for what looks to be about a yard loss, where they end up marking the play. Ingram on the tackle for the Crabbers as he loses about a half a yard. We'll keep it where it was. We'll call it 3rd down and 5.
That play did not bring up good results for the Warriors. You're not going to get to the outside against this quick Hampton defense, and they were running to the short side of the field, which didn't give them any leeway when you got a bunch of quick players.
So another 3rd down play here for the Warriors. Like back to pass. And flushed out of the pocket. Look out. Down he goes as he's sacked in the backfield by the Crabbers, number 74, Godfrey Clinton. Dorsey was on the move. Also in on tackle was number 75, Michael Tate. And I tell you what, Dorsey was all over the place on that one.
Give credit to the Hampton secondary on this. Dorsey had nobody to pass to, and the Hampton defense is relentless as they go after him. He has nobody to throw to.
Back deep for the Crabbers, number 24, Deion Futch. Nice wobbly spiral as Futch will take the ball right at the 36-yard line, and he's hit almost instantly. And there is a flag down, and I got a feeling that's going to be a interference call against the Warriors. They didn't give him enough time really to catch that ball. Let's see how close it really was. Boom.
Well,
not real sure what the high school rule is as far as how much space they got to give him, but he had at least a yard away.
The yard looks like he had control of the ball when he got hit.
Let's see what Mr. Mayhew has to say, and that is the call. Interfering with the catch, I guess. But a penalty will move the ball from the 36-yard line. Like Mr. Mayhew is still discussing it with a couple of his fellow officials on the field. I think what they're doing is giving them the option of kicking it again.
Exactly what they're doing, Mike.
Got kick catching interference against the kicking team. We'll go back and replay from 15-yard penalty.
Wow, that is
Here's
a
the
big
catch,
loss.
and there's the hit.
That's a major penalty. Go back to where the ball was kicked originally and back them up 15 yards and make them kick it again.
Oh.
Goodness. So the ball was sitting at the 28-yard line. They're going to pop that back a half a distance to the goal at least.
They're still talking about it down there on the field, trying to explain it to the coaches.
Well, I'll guarantee you Glenn Tidwell over there is not liking this at all. I'm not real sure why they're discussing it with Coach Mike Smith either.
He might be wondering why he didn't get an option to take the ball there and have the 15-yard penalty from where he got hit, instead of having it here and kicked over.
Well,
but it looks like they're going to give him the ball.
They're
here.
lining the ball up where he kicked it, and they haven't marched it off yet. Here they go. It should be half a distance to the goal from the 28. That would put it down on the 14. That's where they set it. So that goes to the 14-yard penalty. Either way, the Warriors will be re-punting the ball. Again, this time, Evers Funch has moved up a little bit closer. This is a line drive hit. It's a lot shorter than the last one. Looks like it's going to die out at about the Warrior 46-yard line. So irregardless, it's about where they would have had the ball anyhow.
Yeah.
Well, Hampton takes over with a minute and 39 to go here in the first quarter. Out in front 7-0. 1st and 10 as they're going to mark it right at the Kecoughtan 45-yard line.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching LSC, your local sports channel, live on Cox Cable Channel 48 as we take a look at some of the people that are out here tonight on a hot, humid day in October the 16th, 2008. You'll see some of the crowd out there. Not quite as packed as last week's game, but they're out there.
I believe there is a fumble on the play, and I think the Warriors have come up with the ball. And that's exactly what has happened. It was a bad handoff between the quarterback Walford and Tron Martinez, and the ball comes loose and is recovered by the Warriors.
Nice defensive play by the Kecoughtan Warriors. They're going to get possession of the ball here, and they're going to need to do something with it. You can see the pitch right here, the handoff.
Actually, the handoff was to the fullback, number 8 on the play, and that's Darius Thomas.
Ball went right into his arms, but he just couldn't keep it there.
The Crabbers to have their first turnover of the game. Kecoughtan takes over 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. And the ball up the middle to that Bracey on the carry.
I believe it was. Yes.
Pick up of about 4 yards on the play to the Crabber 48-yard line. We're going to call it 2nd down and 6 for the Warriors.
That's a play right there, Mike, that the Warriors are going to have to use again and again and again and again and make Hampton stop that play. It's the short play off tackle that worked for Phoebus last week, and it can work for Kecoughtan if they can get those offensive linemen out there.
Bracey again up the middle. This time he stopped right near the 45-yard line. Looks like he's going to pick up about 3, and that's going to bring us to a 3rd down and 3 for the Warriors. We got 40 seconds to go, and the clock is running here in the first quarter. Hampton out front 7-0 over Kecoughtan.
Positive yardage once again gained by the Warriors as they just go right up the middle. That's how they're going to have to go for this game, Mike.
Looks like number 75, Michael Tate, on the stop again for the Crabbers.
Sides of the field.
Ball was pitched back over here to, was it number 7, William Tate?
Yeah, I believe it is, yes.
Tate on the carry. He might gain about 1.5 yards. Give him 2, but he's going to be short of a first down. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 1 for the Warriors.
Watch how quick the backers come in here, Mike, off the left-hand side to stop this. If you try to go on either corner, the Crabbers are going to stop you.
So we've come to the end of the first quarter of play here at Darling Stadium. The Hampton Crabbers 7, Kecoughtan Warriors nothing. Send it down the sideline where Bob has a guest on down there.
Thanks a lot, guys. I've got Jimmy Wallace. Now, Jimmy played back when Suey Easton was the coach over there at the Crabberland, and you guys always had a lot of people come out and wanted to play with the Crabbers back then.
Oh yeah, everybody wanted to play. That was the thing. If you didn't play football, you weren't hardly allowed to go to school.
Oh, tell me, what years were you there, Jimmy?
43 and 44.
All right, now that back in those days, they didn't have face masks and all they had leather helmets.
Leather helmets, no face mask. We had one player that had a broken nose, a paper nose. He had a face mask, and his helmet was even brown. It wasn't even red.
Well, what do you think about the athletes today as compared to what you had athletes back then? Now, I know a young man by the name of Bernie Ricketts was a real good runner, a scat back in your era.
Well, the guys these days are a lot larger. I know they go through a lot of weight training and things, and actually they go to school 1 year longer too, which makes a difference. But the size of the guys is unbelievable nowadays to me.
Well, not only big, but they're fast and big.
No, I don't think it's fast.
Well, you were pretty fast. In fact, you scored some touchdowns in your career.
Oh yeah, I had a few.
Well, Jimmy, I appreciate you taking time to come down and talk to me. And if you want to see Jimmy, go over to the Hamptons on Tuesday and Thursday. He's a starter over there at the golf course.
Come on over at my golf course, I say.
All right, let's go back up to the guys.
Thanks, Bob. Well, Kecoughtan win on a 4th down and 1, and Bracey gets the first down for the Warriors all the way to the Hampton 41-yard line. So the Warriors continue this drive, 1st and 10 from the Hampton 41. Back to pass, being flushed out of pocket, throws the ball short and almost intercepted by number 65 of the Crabbers. That's Derek Adams diving for the ball just a little bit short, and it almost looked like Dorsey wanted to pull it up.
I'm not sure what happened there, Mike, as I was watching it on the screen here. We'll get to see it here. Dorsey goes back, and I'm not sure whether he just loses grip on the ball or whether he wanted to stop and pull it back down. We'll try and take a look here, right about here, as he comes up.
It was tipped at the line.
That's what it was. It was tipped.
Great shot there by our camera people. I'll tell you what, we see pickups things like that. Dorsey up the middle to about the Crabber 39, and that's it. Hey, Bob, what you got
guys,
down there?
It's really hot down here, too, just like it is up there. Very little wind blowing, and it's very possible that when Dorsey went back to pass, that ball just slipped out of his hand because, you know, when you're playing down here, it's hard to keep your hands dry when you're sweating all the time.
You're exactly right. I think that was part of it, along with the fact that he got tipped, but I think it was coming out of his hands, and he tried to kind of hold up a little bit there.
3rd down and 9 now for Kecoughtan. Ball sits at the Hampton 40. Back to pass. Oh, what a catch. And I believe they're going to say that is a completed pass to number 4, Dominique Collier, down to the Crabber 26-yard line, and nice pass that time. It's like a 14-yard gain for the Warriors.
What a great catch by Dominique Collier.
Just out of the reach of a Crabber defender, too. Watch this.
Way up, juggles the ball, follows it, and brings it in and is able to control it for a completed pass. Great job.
The 1st and 10 for Kecoughtan at the Crabber 26-yard line. Dorsey fumbles the snap, and it looks like they may have gotten it back. Might have been Bracey who actually recovered the fumble. It was.
Both teams having a little bit of trouble hanging on to the ball right now.
Back to the line of scrimmage, call it 2nd down and 10.
Here we see he drops it right from the get-go, but is fortunate enough to be able to fall on it to recover it. So the Warriors getting a break there as they get the ball back.
Two wideouts, one to the near, one to the far. Dorsey back to pass. Being flushed out of the pocket. Still running. Still running. Positive yardage this time, and he's out near a first down. Or he's finally brought down by the Crabbers. I believe it's Dion Funch that finally got him down over there. And that's a gain of about 11. Good for a first down. Nice little scrambling job there.
Watch Dorsey here as he can't find any receivers. He gets away from one tackler there, heads toward the sideline, slips a tackle there, jukes another one there, and carries another one about 3 more yards in order to pick up that first down. That was some great leg work by the quarterback for the Warriors, Dorsey.
Rodney Spears coming off the field right now, number 99. Is that Haney? Yeah, it's Monte Haney. That's correct. I have a little bit of a stinger, his shoulder hanging down. All right, 1st and 10 now. The ball sits at the Crabber 15-yard line. Bracy up the middle for about 3, maybe 4. Depends on where they mark it. We'll give them 4 yards on the play down to the Crabber 11. 2nd down and 6 now.
Like the Kecoughtan offense is beginning to click a little bit. The line being able to get some blocks in there, and the running backs picking up the holes, getting some positive yardage.
Dorsey swinging to the right here, or to the left to the near side. Under pressure, gets away. Nice block right there. He gets inside the 5 down near the goal line, and it looks like he's going to be shy of about a half a yard as the Crabbers number 2, Tron Martinez, stops him before he gets in. That was like a Houdini act right there, getting around a couple of those tackles.
He is a scrambling quarterback, and watch the block up here by number 17, Josh Morris, right there, that springs him loose for that extra yardage. That was a really good block. But again, credit that to the quarterback, Dorsey, as he does some scrambling a la Fran Tarkington.
1st and goal now for Kecoughtan at the Crabber 1. So now the Warriors threatening to tie the game. Dorsey by himself right up the middle, basically untouched for the score. As the Warriors have cut their lead down to 1.
Dorsey with a straight keeper there, and there's a hole wide enough to drive a truck through there off the right side, and he just walked right in for the score. So the Warriors with a great drive. They got a fumble that they recovered and were able to move down the field with Dorsey doing some excellent running in the backfield and getting away from the defenders.
Jeff Emerson in there to kick the extra point. It's up and good. So we're all knotted up here at Darlin Stadium. Hampton 7, Kecoughtan 7.
You're watching LSC Local Sports Channel live on Thursday, October the 16th, 2008. Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser. Mike, what do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what, when they had the coaches' interviews down there, one of the things that Coach Smith talks about was Dorsey, and he was their key. And so far tonight, Dorsey is keeping Kecoughtan in this game by himself, along with the line, obviously, but still, his athleticism and being able to get away from Hampton's defensive backs are doing a pretty good job tonight.
Oh, he's doing a great job running around back there. They may not be able to pass it, but he sure can make something happen, and the Kecoughtan Warriors have just got the presence of mind to know not to have an illegal receiver downfield, and they know when he's going to go and when he's not back there.
So Emerson, number 45, will be kicking all 4 of the Warriors. Deep down the middle is number 2, Tron Martinez. Also Darius Thomas, number 8, for the Crabbers, standing back near their own 10-yard line. Again, 8:06 to go here in the second quarter, all knotted 7 apiece here. Hampton versus Kecoughtan on a warm Thursday evening. Kick is short, taken by one of the upbacks at about the 14-yard line outside, and he is open down the field. And he's still going. He's forced out of bounds back here at the Kecoughtan 37-yard line. Great run back by, who was it, number 37?
Oh, number 24, Deion Funch.
Oh, Deion Funch, number 24 on the return. That's something we've seen him do already this year.
Look at that. He takes it on about the 14-yard line, splits two defenders right there. He gets to the outside, Mike. He's got some speed. Right here, somebody grabs his jersey, can't stop him. He picks up another 6-7 yards before they get him out of bounds.
And this is exactly what he did against Woodside a couple of weeks ago. Had a kickoff run back for a touchdown. And Deion Funch is a heck of an athlete for the Crabbers.
Oh, we saw that last week, Mike. He did a super job. He was everywhere.
A junior, too, so he has another year. So the Crabbers start this possession, 1st and 10 at the Kecoughtan 37. A straight snap back to Martinez, and he gets inside the 30, down to about the 28-yard line, a gain of about 8 for the Crabbers.
I tell you what, if they do that a few more times, Martinez is going to have a free rein and some big holes out there to pick up some more yardage. Looked like Kecoughtan was bringing a few more players in, trying to stack the line and stuff Martinez before he got too far, but you put him back in the backfield a little bit, give him a little bit of a start, he's going to get that yardage.
Looks like Devontae Sims, number 43 for the Crabbers, has now come into the lineup, and he will be like a slot back over there. Again, Martinez takes this direct snap and runs straight up the middle down to the 25-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 3. That's going to be good for a Crabber first down at the 25. Looks like they're not using a quarterback right now. They're doing a direct snap to Martinez.
And the Hampton line is getting off the ball very quickly and pushing the Warrior defense back, and that's allowing Martinez to get some yards. Look, all you see in front of him is red, and all the white shirts are falling back. That happens, it could end up being a good night for Mr. Tron Martinez.
He's still set up in the shotgun, so I guess he's playing quarterback at this point. Snap is to Martinez, and he starts running around the left end. This time the Warriors had that one bottled up. He's still going to pick up about 4 on the play, though.
Is that, and that's a new wrinkle, Mike. You're exactly right. There's no quarterback in there as per se. They're putting Martinez back there and going right to him. And so far, it's working.
Well, I'm looking on the sideline looking for Walford, but I don't see him over here anywhere. Normally, if he's not in the game, he's standing right next to Coach Smith, but I'm not real sure where he's at right now. Again, Martinez in the shotgun. 2 wide outs to the near side and direct snap. Kecoughtan had it covered that time. He might get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Lopez for the Warriors on the stop, along with William Tate.
Kecoughtan that time making some adjustments, knowing that Martinez is going to get the ball. It's going to go straight to him. They don't want him to get any more yardage than he has. And that time they were able to contain him. You know, that setup that they've got there, Mike, looks like the old single wing formation.
Well, it's different. Walford back in the game. Martinez just to his left. 4 wideouts, 2 to either side of the line. Back to pass. Over the middle, wide open. It's caught by Butch, number 24, and he goes in to score. Deion Funch will get about 27 yards on the play, and that's the first passing touchdown of the game as the Crabbers now retake the lead. 13-7 with 5:24 to go here in the second quarter of play.
Watching LSC Local Sports Channel live on Thursday, October the 16th on Cox Cable Channel number 48.
Matt Cass out of the hold, and it's up, and it is good. So the Crabbers go back out in front now, lead with 5:24 to go here in the second quarter of play by a score of 14-7.
Mike, this is the 6th touchdown pass thrown by a Crabber quarterback. I believe that is
his
the
knee went down too. They got away with a knee on the ground.
That was the 3rd touchdown pass thrown by David Wofford, the quarterback for the Hampton Crabbers. Jordan Roby also has 3. So that's 6.
I'm real surprised that the referees didn't see his knee down. It looked like it from here it was down. I don't know if Bob had a good shot at it, but from here it certainly looked like his knee hit the ground right at the 5-yard line.
Whatever it did, I can tell you this, it is a touchdown, and there are 14 points on the board.
So the Crabbers, number 40, Skylar Hutchinson, will be kicking off for the Crabbers. Line drive shot. This one's actually going to go almost. That one went through the end zone.
Nice
anytime you have a kicker that can put the ball in the end zone as a high school kicker, that just absolutely stops any chance of run backs, and that forces them to go into the offensive position. Now, 1st and 10 as the Warriors will take over with 5:24 to go. 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Kicking can change a game. I'm familiar with the young people who played for the Warriors years and years and years ago, and that was David Green. And when the Kecoughtan Warriors played Hampton, Mike Smith had to change his whole plan because David Green would kick it into the end zone. And not only that, when David got near the 30-40 yard line, he was in range of kicking a field goal. So you had to shorten up your field on defense. So this young man that just kicked for Hampton did a great job.
This one's pitched back to number 4, Hollier, as he's going to pick up maybe 4 yards on the play as he gets to the 24.
Looks like Tyrell Wilson was lead tackler for the Crabbers.
Tyrell Wilson for the Crabbers on the stop. 2nd down and 6 now for Kecoughtan after a gain of 4.
Not a bad pickup for trying to go around the outside. Again, I'm not a real big fan of that tonight. I watched Phoebus pound them up the middle, up the middle, up the middle.
That's
and
where
I think
they've
that's
been
where they're
successful
weak.
so far, too.
That's where they can get some yardage on the Crabbers.
Timeout, Kecoughtan.
Like we are currently in a timeout situation. I'm not real sure who called the timeout. Kecoughtan called a timeout. So with timeouts left in the first half, Kecoughtan has 2. Hampton has 3. 4:51 to go here in the second quarter. Crabbers out in front 14-7.
Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser. You're watching LSC Live, and we want to thank everybody that's out there watching us live. We hope you're enjoying this as we bring you sports, all the sports you can get. Remember, you can watch LSC 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I spent a lot of time where you can watch it on the internet, you can watch it on TV. As here we see the replay of the touchdown pass. Let's see the catch. Let's see if that knee goes down. Right. Oh, yes, not a question. He even slides it along the field. So, Mike, you were exactly on that one.
Yeah, that was fun. If I was the Kecoughtan coach, I'd be wanting to see the grass stain on his knee on that one. 2nd down and 6 now for the Warriors at their own 24. Dorsey on a keeper around the right side.
Dorsey on the keeper.
Forced out of bounds by the Crabbers, number 11. That was Andy Allison of the Crabbers, but that's a gain of about 7 yards on the play. It's good for a 1st down. I'll tell you what, Kecoughtan's offense is moving the ball.
Well, Kecoughtan has a good offense. They've got a decent running game. They score points. Both of these teams, if you look at the stats and compare the stats, with the exception of the points scored per game, they're pretty daggone close. And even the points, 32-23. 32-20, that's backwards, isn't it?
Dorsey hands the ball off to number 9, Bracey, as he breaks free out to about their own 45-yard line. He's going to pick up 15 on the play. The best run of the night for Kecoughtan. That's good for a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, Coach Tidwell having these kids believe in themselves. As we watch this replay and the handoff, you see them go up the middle where they're getting their yardage like they have been all night. He finds an opening to the outside. He takes it. If these kids realize that they can win this game, you're going to see a really tough ball game here. Not that you're not. 7-point difference here with 4 minutes left in the first half.
Well, as long as Kecoughtan can keep the ball out of the hands of the Crabbers offense like they're doing right now, the score will stay close.
You're exactly right.
Dorsey again hands the ball to Bracey off the left side this time. He's going to pick up maybe 2 on the play out to about the 47. That's it. As he is brought down by the Crabbers. Number 55, and that is Roy Nixon, as he is also helped out on the play by Derek Adams, number 65. Gain of about 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8. 4:12 on the clock as it continues to run here in the second quarter.
We haven't heard a lot from Grant West, the receiver for the Kecoughtan Warriors that has 119 yards so far this year, only averaging about 17 per game. But keep your eyes on him, ladies and gentlemen.
And here we go back to pass as Dorsey is tackled after he gains about 5 on the play as he gets inside of Hampton territory down to about the 48. Gain of 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3 for the Warriors.
Dorsey back to pass once again. This Hampton secondary defense has been obviously very good about the coverage. They're not letting anybody get open. Either that or Dorsey's not able to see anybody open because he hasn't been able to throw anything.
That's right. Shea Bump is on the stop for the Crabbers. 3rd down and 3 at the Hampton 48. And the ball right up the middle. And he's going to pick up more than 3 yards. Looks like he's going to get just over the Crabber 45 as the ball is handed to number 9, Deontay Bracey. He's going to get enough for a 1st down. Just barely, but enough is enough, right?
That's that
when you get enough to get a 1st down, it's enough.
If you got 10 yards, you get 10 yards.
1st and 10 at the Hampton 45-yard line as the clock continues to run as we near the 3-minute mark here in the 2nd quarter.
Watching LSC live on Thursday evening at a hot, humid evening.
Dorsey back to pass. Looking for a receiver. Gets flushed out of the pocket. Takes off running. He gets good yards all the way down to the Crabber like 34-yard line. And nice gain that time of about 12 yards.
I like the way he did that one, Mike. He went back to pass, and then he just kind of ducked down and went through some holes. Then he stood up and just kind of stopped and started. Watch this replay here. He goes back. He looks, kind of ducks down, says, okay, I'll go through here. Stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, stop, down.
They set the ball that's right. They set the ball at the 34. 1st and 10 for Kecoughtan. Again, they're on the run. Here we go. And it did down to 2:30 to go in the 2nd quarter. And motion number 7 has got the ball. William Tate.
Nice block on the outside there, Mike, giving him a hole to cut back through, and he had perfect timing as he cut up through the hole, pick up that yardage. Nice run, nice blocking by the line.
Gain of 6, we'll call it 2nd down and 4.
Watch on the outside here, right there, number 4 and number 2, opening up that nice hole. You can see you can drive my car through there.
West and Hollier on the blocks out there. Great job by Kecoughtan that time by their wide receivers. Opened up the lane on the right-hand side. Down to 1:40 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Dorsey on a keeper. Up the middle. Got a good gain for a 1st down inside of the Hampton 25. And it looks like they're going to go down to about the 23. It's a gain of about 6 on the play as the Warriors continue this drive with a 1st and 10. Trying to get in before the end of the quarter and try to tie this game up.
And I'm surprised we've got plenty of timeouts left here with 1:30. You'd think somebody would be taking some timeouts.
Well, it's kind of smart on Kecoughtan's part to let the clock keep running as long as they keep moving the ball. With 1:20 to go, they still have 2 timeouts. But what that's doing is eliminating the fact that Hampton might get the ball back. Bracey up the middle. I tell you what, he was a half a step away of going all the way. As he is tripped up as he went through the line by not real sure who at this point, but he gets down to the 17-yard line.
Kecoughtan.
See if we can see who. Well, looks like whoever that is down on the ground right there got a hand out and stopped him.
Either that or he might have tripped over his own player.
Gain of about 6 on the play.
Watch this as we come through here. Let's see. Looks like
65 down on the bottom.
Yes,
got him.
That's who it was.
Yeah, and that 65 is Derek Adams. Nice play by the Crabbers.
Thank goodness we got
linebacker.
such great camera people like Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer down there for us. Doing a really good job, guys. Thank you very much. Makes our job a lot easier up here. I just sit here and watch the screen and see everything we need to see, and these guys seem to pick up the right stuff at the right time.
Timeout called by Kecoughtan. They have 1 left here, 1:07 to go. 2nd down and 4. Ball sits just inside the Crabber 17-yard line.
Almost looks like the New York Jets coming back out there, doesn't it? Green and white.
Timeout. Hampton.
Now Hampton decides to call a timeout, and that'll leave them with 2. So back-to-back timeouts here.
I wonder if we can call a timeout up here and have another one. That would be back-to-back-to-back. Be Kecoughtan calling a timeout, Hampton call a timeout, and then LSC can call a timeout.
We can have the announcer over here in the next booth holler down there. Hey, the TV station wants a timeout.
TV timeout. There you see some of the Crabbers there. I mean, not the Crabbers. I apologize. That's the Warriors. Number 66 and number 79 for the Warriors, Rashid Breland and Shane Rivera.
I'll tell you something we need to be keeping an eye on. Number 55, the center for Kecoughtan, Rick Parker. He's been right in the middle of everyone that plays, and he is a rather large young man.
There's Andy Allison, number 11, there on your screen with some of the other Crabbers, and there's Danny Mitchell right in the middle. Danny, longtime assistant coach, along with Mike Smith. As you see him, his cap's already backwards. He's ready to go.
Parker is a 6'3", 260-pound senior for the Warriors, and doing a great job in the middle of that line.
Mike, so far for the Kecoughtan Warriors, Dorsey with 43 yards and Bracey with 46 yards in the game.
Dorsey with a keeper around the right end being pushed outside. Looks like he fumbled the ball, and I believe the Crabbers have it, and they do, but there is a flag on the play. Looks like it was thrown in the backfield. Like Dorsey may have lost the ball somewhere around the 10-yard line.
I think Kecoughtan's going to come up on the short end of this. I think it's going to end up being Hampton's ball. We see him going around the right side, loses it right.
He's swinging the ball out.
You can see it come out on the left-hand side there. He loses it, and there are 2 or 3 Crabbers over there and only 1 Warrior, and it's the Crabbers that come up with it.
So the penalty looks like it's going to be against the Crabbers.
We had an illegal shift against the offense. That penalty has been declined. First down, Hampton.
Now each team has a turnover here in the first half, and this time the Warriors stopped themselves as they were down inside the 10-yard line.
That's a big turnover there, Mike. A big turnover. The Warriors were moving pretty well downfield with an opportunity to score here before halftime, and this is going to hurt.
Well, with 59 seconds to go here in the second quarter, here's a handoff to the up back, number 8 for the Hampton, Darius Thomas. He's going to get the ball near the 15-yard line. Looks like he gains about 6 on the play as the clock continues to run. Although they have stopped the clock, I'm not sure why.
For the halftime, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to remind you that you are watching LSC Local Sports Channel live on October the 16th, 2008 from Darling Stadium as we bring you the Kecoughtan Warrior Hampton High School football game on a hot, humid night. We hope you're enjoying the game. Remember that after halftime, we'll be back here again to bring you the remainder of this game.
It looks like they're going to question the fact that the clock wasn't running.
Can we please put 37 seconds on the game clock?
For some reason, they had stopped it at 51 seconds.
They'll make a quick adjustment to the clock and change that to 37 seconds, as you heard the ref say.
Fix it, Andy.
As you watch the clock moving there.
All right, so and now they started up again, and the clock still isn't running. There it goes. Here we go. Second down and about 5 for the Crabbers. Make it 4. Timeout is called by Walford as he will run over here to the sideline and talk to Coach Smith.
Hampton.
That is their second timeout. Each team now with 1 remaining here in the last 30 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, just want to let you know that this second quarter has been sponsored by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is the place for all your hard-to-find hardware needs, including electrical, plumbing, and painting. And by Zooms, with great service and convenient locations throughout the peninsula that can save you time and money. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining and delicious food. We had some earlier tonight, Mike, and it is super good. Let me tell you, I had the club. You couldn't ask for a better sandwich. Join them for lunch or dinner at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News or on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Please call David Chubb or Terry McNamara at 594-0411 for all of your team sports needs.
All right, 30 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Hampton has a second down and 4. The ball rests at their own 15-yard line. Walford will drop back to pass. He's flushed out and down, and he gets a first down and all the way to the Crabber 23-yard line. That'll stop the clock long enough for them to move the chains. 22 seconds to go here in this first half of play.
Timeout, Hampton.
The Crabbers call their last timeout here in the first half. That'll leave Kecoughtan with 1. 22 seconds to go with the Crabbers out in front, 14-7.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to speak to you just a moment while we've got a timeout here on how you can have your friends that are out of town or out of state tune in and watch the same sports programming that you're watching on LSC Local Sports Channel. Obviously, if you're in the Hampton area, you can watch us on Cox Cable Channel 48. But let's say, Mike, you're like me and you're in York County, or some friends of mine that are in Norfolk or other areas, Charlottesville, Virginia, Richmond, or Northern Virginia.
How about my son who lives in Japan?
Or your son. And you can also tell parents and other people who are in the military service and might be stationed overseas that they can watch us on the internet. All you have to do is go to the Hampton City Schools website, click on the WHCS logo, and go to Live LSC and click play, and you can see us right on the internet.
There's Walford with a pass down the sideline, and it was intended for number 24, Deion Funch, and it is overthrown, incomplete. And defensively for the Warriors was number 14, Jace DePriest. A little bit overthrown. Actually, DePriest had a better shot at catching it than Deion did.
Yeah. Crabber quarterbacks have had the habit of overthrowing some of the receivers, as we saw last week. If they can get that ball down, they're going to be dangerous. But they're sophomores.
Isn't that the only second pass they've thrown tonight?
I'm not sure. It's either the second or third.
Second down and 10 for the Crabbers as 17 seconds to go. They have thrown 3 times. Thank you. Martinez gets the ball back. Martinez gets the ball to the 25-yard line. That's going to bring up third down, and that's probably the last play of the first half. So we're at the end of the first half of play. The Hampton Crabbers lead the Kecoughtan Warriors 14-7.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching LSC Live, your local sports channel. And we'll be back. Stay with us for the next half.
Hampton leads at the half, 14-7 over Kecoughtan. Let's send it down to the sideline where Bob has a special guest down there.
Yeah, guys, I got Billy Wren here. Now, Billy Wren played at Hampton High back in the 40s, and he's been a Hampton supporter for years. He knows Mike Smith real good, but I want you to look at this number, because that's the number, one of the numbers that he wore when he was at Hampton. What years were you at Hampton, Billy?
45, 6, 7.
All right, now what position did you play?
I played end, tackle, center, blocking bag.
So you were kind of a utility man, like they gave him baseball.
Right. My father was a volunteer fire chief in Hampton, and Charlie Karmoski used to put a nickname on me, Fireman Billy.
You've been watching the Crabbers for years. This year, they're not as big as they've been in the past, but they still got some good athletes on the team.
Yeah, they got some excellent athletes, but they don't really have that size. Of course, the biggest guy we had was 200 pounds. And we had some good football players like Calvin Ray and Dick Carneal, and a lot of Phil Fuller, Harold Jennings. Of course, Jimmy was a little before that.
Right.
But we had some good football team. We finished runner-up 46 and 47 in the state.
Well, that's great. Listen, I appreciate you taking time to come down and talk to us, Billy.
Enjoyed it.
Okay, good enough. Let's go back up to the booth.
Hey, Bob, thanks. Again, Hampton 14, Kecoughtan 7 at the half here. Talk a little bit about some halftime stats and some. I get to see a few of the plays that took place also in the first half.
Oh, it's been an interesting first half, Mike. Kecoughtan moving right along here. I mean, there are the stats, Mike.
Look at them right there. Passing yardage, Hampton has them 42-17. But here's the kicker. Rushing yardage, 80 yards for Hampton, 114 for Kecoughtan, and a lot of those have been by the quarterback Dorsey. Total yards, 131 for Kecoughtan, 122 for Hampton, as the Warriors have really outgained Hampton by 9 total yards. Penalties, the Crabbers have not been penalized in the first half, which is nice to see.
Yes, it is.
Kecoughtan had a couple of penalties. They had 3 up for 25. Each team both had a fumble, but look at the time of possession. Kecoughtan's ability to keep the ball away from the Hampton offense has been key to this game, keeping it as close as it is, 14-7 here at the half.
Kecoughtan has almost had the ball twice as much as Hampton has, and it's unbelievable. And you're right. They're going to need to continue to control the ball to keep Tron Martinez from doing what he does, and that's getting a lot of yardage and scoring.
Kecoughtan will be getting the ball back to start the second half also, so that's that much more time that the offense for the Crabbers will not have on the field. Let's look at some of these first half highlights.
All right, Mike, here we have the Hampton quarterback as he throws a pass. Nice catch on the sidelines, puts him in position for a score. And here we have Martinez going through, getting down to about the 2-yard line, just shy of the touchdown. And then here he takes it in for the first score.
That pass play was a 15-yard pass to Andy Allison, too.
Now here we're going to see Dorsey as he goes back. Watch the catch here. Great hands by the receiver, and I believe that was Hollier. And here you have, again, the quarterback, Dorsey, as he scrambles from right to left, back again to the right, gets away, takes it up the sidelines for some good yardage. And you said earlier, he is making the plays happen back there when he can't find a receiver and coming up with some good yardage. Here he is again, coming to the left-hand side. He can't find a receiver. He breaks a tackle, gets very close as he brings it down to about the goal line where he's stopped by the Crabbers, and then in for the score and a hole you could drive a truck through. So the Warriors up on the board there along with the Crabbers. Here we have a great run back by the Crabbers. Futch, he takes it on about the 14-yard line, comes up the middle, finds an opening on the outside, and just blows by everybody until he's finally forced out of bounds around the 25-yard line. Big run for the Crabbers. That sets up this nice pass, great catch. Of course, as we saw, he goes in for the touchdown, and the Crabbers took the lead at that point, 14-7. That's where we stand now as we get ready for the second half here at Darling Stadium. You're watching LSC Local Sports Channel live right now, coming to you on cable channel 48 on Cox. We'd like to, at this time, recognize our production crew with us here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. On the cameras, Mr. Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer. The graphics and animation, the young man that brings you all the nice stuff on the screen, Mr. Andy Foley. Our slow motion and instant replay man, Mike Nowinski, who just had all of those plays on there for you to see. The camera control operator, Sarah Myers. Our production and audio assistant, and the person that runs around all over the field, Renee Camden. The audio and chief engineer, he makes sure that we're able to talk and you're able to hear us, Don Schraus. The director and the producer, he's the one that tells Mike and I what to do and how we're supposed to do it. He does a fantastic job, Mr. Scotty Bowers. I'm Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser up here in the booth. We have Brent Musgrove. And on the sidelines, out of retirement, Mr. Bob Hintz, who's doing a great job with the interviews and comments from the sides. Mike?
Entertaining first half as Hampton's offense was pretty much held in check, with the exception of, again, Martinez. Hampton only had 80 yards rushing in the first half. And I believe most of those were by Martinez. The ability of Kecoughtan's offense to stay on the field long enough to keep Hampton off has been a key to this game without a doubt.
It is. I was surprised when we got the halftime stats to see how much yardage and the fact that they had more yardage than Hampton did, rushing and overall, and the time of possession. Oh,
man.
Man.
A little over 15 minutes for Kecoughtan, a little over 8 minutes for Hampton in the first half, and so far that's a key to the game. And if Kecoughtan can continue to do that, they have a chance to be successful and pull this game out.
Now, they're not out of it by any means. Take away that turnover down there, and there's a good chance the Kecoughtan scores. could be a touchdown, at a minimum, probably a field goal. This is going to be a whole lot closer game at that time. So without that turnover, we've got a good game going here, ladies and gentlemen. As this third quarter is going to begin here shortly, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you the sponsors of the third quarter. And, Mike, really want to thank the people that sponsor LSC Local Sports Channel. Without these people, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of the things that we do here at Darling Stadium to bring people this game live. So here are the sponsors for the third quarter of this game. The third quarter of this game is sponsored by Eric Thompson, Realtor. A Hampton City Schools alumni and former athlete, you can call Eric at 685-3127 to buy or sell a home or property. Also by Zooms. Once again, David Allen and Zooms are sponsoring student athletes in Hampton. Zooms with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. David Allen and Zooms has been representing and helping Hampton City Schools for over 20 years. By Kelly's Tavern. Mike, great food. Good food, good prices. I'm going to call it great food at good prices. Bring the entire family to enjoy one of their delicious meals. Join them at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News and Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. I like to go to the one in Port Warwick, a little bit closer to my house, and I'll tell you what, I like their burgers and I like their club sandwiches. But my favorite are the wraps. I really like those wraps a lot. Tidewater Team Sports is another one of our sponsors. Tidewater Team Sports been sponsoring Hampton City Schools football for many, many years. Located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News, Tidewater Team Sports offers screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411. Talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara for all your printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel.
David and Terry do a great job. They do the embroidery work for our shirts here. During their football, basketball, and baseball and softball games that we televise here. And I believe we're going to continue doing this throughout the year. Once football's over with, we'll be heading into basketball first part of the year. And again, most of those games, if I'm not mistaken, will be shown live again also on and also the Warrior Classic coming up, I believe. They're going to carry that live also?
Yes, they are. I believe that's the 18th annual Warrior Classic that'll be live November the 1st. Not live?
Not live.
Not live. I'm sorry, it won't be live. It will be live if you're here, but it'll be taped and on the air. And I believe that starts around 2 o'clock.
All I got to say is that's saving you, because that's one long day if you're doing it live.
Yeah, it is a long day. It's a very long day. But it's great. You hear some great music. The bands are just fantastic, and it goes quick. Believe it or not, they get a certain amount of time to play, and they're in and off the field. And I've got a great young lady that comes up here with me, and she knows all the music that I don't and can pronounce all the words. Just fantastic young lady. And I'm glad she's going to be here to help me out, because I can't pronounce half those songs that they have. Yes. And that young lady is Jackie Warren. Jackie just does a super job. And Jackie, if you're listening, I can't wait to get together with you, because you're going to be the one that's going to carry the show on November the 1st as we bring you the Warrior Classic.
Looks like we got about 2 minutes prior to the second half starting. And as down on the sideline, Danny Mitchell, one of the assistant coaches, is chit-chatting with a couple of the referees, as you can see there to the bottom right-hand corner of the screen.
Well, if that's Danny Mitchell, he doesn't chit-chat, I can tell you that.
Well, it all depends. As long as they've got the league, they're chit-chatting. So, looks like we'll be going to the middle of the field with the captains of the team, as the Crabbers number 66, Terrell Wilson, and I believe that is number 55 for Kecoughtan, their center, and he is a pretty good-sized young man there, Rick Parker. He's played a key role in the rushing attack for the Kecoughtan Warriors tonight. They are in the middle of the field, and they'll discuss who will defend what goal, because Kecoughtan will be getting the ball first. Hampton will be, wait a minute, they're giving Hampton the ball. That's correct. Hampton did win and defer in the second half. Yes, indeedy. So the Crabbers will be defending the east goal, and they will get the ball first here.
Sorry, Sarah.
Did defer the coin toss at the opening of the game.
As we get ready for this second half to begin, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching us live on LSC, Local Sports Channel, your Cox Channel 48. We've got all sorts of good stuff that we're bringing you every day, every minute, every hour, along with the Peninsula District, Hampton City Schools, Bethel, Kecoughtan, Hampton, and Phoebus Sports. You can also see things like the World Series highlights from 1948. Pleasure boating with Kurt Gowdy from 1968.
Back in your day.
Yeah, the 20th Sugar Bowl and Midwinter Classics from 1953 to 1954. World Series highlights from 1953 to 55. Watch Brooklyn and the Yankees, Billy Lowe's, Duke Snider, Carfarillo, Rizzuto, Billy Martin, Mickey Mantle, the Man, and Yogi Berra and Campanella. All of this on LSC.
That's right. Kicking off for the Warriors, Kyle Lawrence, number 31. Again, we'll go to Dion Funch at about the 16-yard line as he breaks through the middle, gets a little bit of room and breaks a tackle outside the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Again, the number 24 for the Crabbers, Dion Funch, is really electrifying when he gets his hands on the ball. Let's look at it again. Takes that about the 16-yard line.
Mike, this young man is just a junior, and we've seen him now in 2 games, and he is just a talented athlete, and he'll be back next year.
On their own 42.
Give them 26 yards on the return as the Crabbers will take over to start the third quarter. 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. David Walford is the quarterback as he gets under center, and there is Martinez up the middle. We're going to just follow right behind his left guard. He's going to pick up about 3 down near the 45-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 for the Crabbers.
Warrior defense swarming on that one. You can see right here they clogged the middle of that line, and they're going to allow him a couple of yards, but they pretty much stuffed him right there.
One of the things that has not happened tonight is one of the things that Hampton is doing, their ball control. When they do have the ball offensively, they are controlling the line of scrimmage, and they're getting 4 or 5 yards a shot. Again, there's Martinez again picking up about 3 as he gets down to about the 48-yard line. And that will bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Crabbers.
Well, the Crabbers rely, as we all know, on the running game, and Tron Martinez is picking up yardage. A little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. You just try and wear down the defensive line, and eventually the holes are going to open up for you, and you're going to spring it. We haven't seen Tron Martinez break loose yet, but the game is still young.
And 40 to go here in the third quarter. Hampton out front 14-7, and there's Martinez again. Slips the first tackle and only gets about a yard to about the 49-yard line. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 3 for the Crabbers. Normally a punting situation, but let's see what happens as it looks like the Crabbers are going out there.
Martinez made a good move right there. He was stopped where he was and was able to go to his right to slice in there to pick up that 1 yard, but it wasn't enough as the Warrior defense has held up here to start the third quarter.
Eric Adams in to punt for the Crabbers, number 65, back deep. Like Anthony Dorsey is one of the players. A nice end-over-end punt down to about the 15-yard line, and that's number 14 on the carry, Jace DePriest. He's going to get near the 20, so we're going to give him about 6 yards on the carry. About 36 yards on the punt for the Crabbers, so Kecoughtan will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 9:52 to go here in the third. Hampton 14, Kecoughtan 7. On a warm even.
No, more than a warm even. That's a warm, humid evening.
Yeah, according to the weather, though, it's supposed to change tonight.
It's tonight.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll be complaining about it being cold.
That's
tomorrow,
all right.
From what I hear, the high is only supposed to be 65, and they supposedly broke a record today.
That's fine with me if it's 65.
That's football weather.
That's good weather, but almost football weather. A little cooler would be fine with me.
Deontay Bracey up the middle for about a yard at the most.
Like there was a little bit of a miscommunication on that play, a little slow on the handoff. That one didn't pick up much yardage there.
A yard on the play, 2nd down and 9 for the Warriors at their own 21.
Hey, Kecoughtan's going to have to go back to the rhythm that they had right before the end of the half when they marched down the field. If they can get back into that, they're going to cause some problems because, as you know, they ate up the time and they ate up the yardage.
Dorsey back to throw. Little screen pass out here to number 9, Bracy, and he's going to pick up maybe a yard at the most. So good defensive play for the Crabbers. Number 66 on the play. That's Tyrell Wilson. Gain of a yard. 3rd down and 8 for Kecoughtan.
Watch this play. Dorsey looks to his left and then comes back right to catch Bracy coming across the middle. Just a quick little pass off to the side there, a few yards. They don't normally go downfield too often on their passes. They get little short ones.
So 3rd and long now. 3rd down and 8 for Kecoughtan at their own 22. There's a pitch out to the wide receiver, Hollier, as he's being forced back in great defense by the Crabbers all the way back down inside the 10-yard line, but it looks like they're going to bring it back and mark it at about the 15. That'll be a loss of 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 4th down and long.
I'll tell you what, they were lucky. It looked like number 66 was in there and almost got the ball. Excuse me, that was number 85. They smelled that one out right there.
Emerson in to punt the ball now for Kecoughtan. Deep for the Crabbers is Dion Futch. Nice punt. Oh, drives them all the way ball. Why did he catch it in the air? He gets a Hampton bounce and it goes back to about the 44-yard line. But I can tell you right now, Mike Smith's going to want to know why he didn't catch that one. That was a perfect one for him to catch and take off running with. But the Crabbers will take over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line on a decent punt.
This young man has really put some air underneath the ball, and oh man, he had a good 10 yards there with nobody near him where he could have caught that one and gone. I've got to agree with you on that.
That was a 45-yard punt in the air, not including how far back behind the line of scrimmage he was. So that was an excellent spiral punt. David Walford is the quarterback again behind the center, and again he hands the ball off to Martinez, and he breaks this one free for about 11 yards down inside the Kecoughtan 45 to near the 44-yard line. Gain of about 11 on the play. That'll bring up a 1st down for Hampton. One of the few holes he's got and got a bunch of yards on.
That time the right guard and the right tackle, Andrew Alston and Derek Bailey, with some good blocks over there, opened up a real nice hole for Tron Martinez, and he showed us a little bit of that speed that he has when he can get across the line. Brought it out there for another 1st down.
A pitch out as Martinez is trying to get away from the defense. Oh, and he is hammered at the 41 by the Warriors number 2, Grant West, as he put a licking on Martinez.
Watch Martinez as he comes around. Here comes West to the bottom of your screen there. Look at this hit. Boom. He gets him right in the chest. And yeah, you get this young man pumped up, and we saw what he did last week when he got pumped up. And Coach Tidwell was talking about that during the game. He just got into his zone. And that could be the start of the zone for Grant West. We haven't heard a lot from him.
Gain of 3 on the play for Martinez. 2nd down and 7. Martinez again off the right side is hit by one of the linemen, and he gets to about the 39, and that's it.
It looked like number 17, Josh Morris, the outside linebacker for the Warriors, that made that stop.
Gain of 2 on the play. That will bring up a 3rd down and 5 at about the 39-yard line. Again, the defense for Kecoughtan is doing a great job right now. 2 wide outs to the far side. Hands the ball off to Martinez, and he grinds his way just over the 35, and he's going to be really close to a 1st down. Just depends on where the officials mark this one. Might have gotten, they may have given him the yardage for this one. Let's see. Pretty close.
It looks pretty good to me.
The officials call timeout, and we will measure.
I'm saying yes. What do you say?
Saying he's short by an inch.
Short by an inch.
You never know. If he's got it by an inch, and that's about what it is. Did you see what he
started
did? He got it. So first down, nice run by Martinez there to get his first down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. 6:35 to go here in the third quarter play. The Crabbers still out in front, 14-7. Thursday night football here in Darling Stadium. Martinez swings to his left, and nice play that time by Kecoughtan's number 6, Greg Richardson, as he turned that one in and was able to get a hold of Martinez to make the stop.
As we watch the replays, a great play by the defense as we watch Martinez, who already has 23 carries and 95 yards in the game, and you can see the difference in the score. Hampton 14, Kecoughtan 7. Martinez picking up the yardage that he needs.
Back to passes. Wolford over the middle and right through the hands of Andy Allison at about the 21-yard line. That might have been deflected by one of the linebackers there.
Once again, the Crabber quarterbacks having some trouble in connecting with their receivers who are open.
That ball looked like it almost hit Andy Allison on the helmet. We get a chance to see that again, we'll be able to see that. Either way, it's 3rd down and 10 now as the ball still sits at the Warrior 34-yard line. That would be a good time for a draw. What do you think? In the shotgun now is Wolford. Beside him is Martinez.
You're right.
Back to pass. Over the middle is completed to number 24, Dion Funch, who has been a key member of this game. And that's good for about 14 yards to the 20-yard line. That'll give Hampton a 1st and 10. And that was a bullet right there.
That was. Give Hampton credit here. They don't shy away from passing when they decide to go. They find something that's open. If they don't get it one time, they'll try it again.
Nice hit, too, by the defense after the catch.
This is where the Kecoughtan defense needs to begin to put a lot of pressure on Tron Martinez, keep him from getting any yardage, and get the ball on turnover or on downs.
Hampton's got to call a timeout now because the players on the sideline weren't ready to go in, and Mike Smith is upset. So timeout in the third quarter here by the Crabbers. That'll leave him with 2. Kecoughtan still has 3. 5 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Please
Hampton
put 5 minutes and 20 seconds on the game clock.
Hampton 14, 5:20. Hampton 14 and Kecoughtan 7. You on that one down there, right, Andy? 5 minutes and 20 seconds back on the clock. He's working on it. All right, he's working on it.
A 7-point ball game here at Darling Stadium, October the 16th, 2008 on LSC, the local sports channel. You're watching us on cable channel 48, Cox.
Andy got the time clock straightened out.
What time is the time clock? 5:20. Very good, Andy. Andy Foley's a young man that is able to put that graphic up there where you see KHS 0, HSS 14, 5:20, 3rd, 1st and 10, LSC. It's all the information that you need.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Crabbers at the Kecoughtan 20. Wolford under center, pitches the ball back to Martinez. He breaks a tackle, gets inside the 10, is forced out of bounds near the 8.
Nice footwork by Martinez on the sidelines.
Gain of about 12 on the play. That'll make the Crabbers 1st and goal from the 8.
Watch this, Mike, as he gets over here. Now watch this. Right there, cuts back in, goes out, keeps his balance, backs in, stays inbounds there, and finally gets forced out there. That's great.
You got to give that block right there by Corey West a good job, too.
And Martinez now has broken the 100-yard mark. He's got 107 so far in this game, Mike, and we're in the third quarter.
There's Martinez off the right side down inside the 5 to the 2. He was a half a step away from going all the way on that one.
Martinez is finding his legs, ladies and gentlemen, and that doesn't forebode well for the Kecoughtan Warriors. Watch him get through that big hole, cut back, and he might have been able to go the other way, follow that hole, keep right on going in.
Grant West on the stop for the Warriors. That's going to bring up 2nd down and goal as the ball sits at about the 3-yard line. Again, Martinez, he has to cut back. Great defensive play that time as the Warriors' number 6, Greg Richardson, is really doing a great job on his left side. As he stands up and he loses a lot of yards here.
Richardson just kind of walks right on through. I don't think anybody picked him up at all, and I think Martinez was a little shocked to see somebody there.
He's going to lose 7 on the play all the way back to the 10, so it's 3rd down and goal now with the ball sitting at the Kecoughtan 10-yard line.
There you see some of the crowd of people out here tonight. Those are the Hampton Crabber fans as they're cheering on the Hampton Crabbers, who lead this game by a score of 14-7.
Back to pass is Wolford over the middle. Completed again to, is it number 11? Okay, it is number 11. And that is Andy Allison as he's down inside near the 1-yard line. That's going to bring up a 4th down and goal from the 1.
Nice catch, but he's throwing into 3-man coverage. You can see in the end zone there, it looked like number 24 or 25 for the Crabbers. I believe it was number 24. Wide open in the end zone.
Key play here in the 3rd quarter. 4th down and goal from the 1. And this is a play that if Kecoughtan can stop the Crabbers here. And Martinez untouched right into the end zone. So Martinez scores again tonight, and that will give him, what, 26 or 27?
That is 26.
26 touchdowns on the night, or on the game.
Look at Martinez, a nice hole there. You see a good block by Hampton's number 65, I believe it was. And that is, and if I find my paper here, Mike, I'll tell you who number 65 is. That is Derek Adams, with a nice block allowing Martinez to go in for the score.
That cast for the Crabbers in for the extra point attempt. Ball's down, kick is up through the end zone, but there is a flag. I think Kecoughtan was offside. Usually if you look and see where the line judge throws his flag, he threw it towards
Dead
Kecoughtan.
ball encroachment against the defense. That penalty is declined. We'll replay the untimed down.
Huh?
What?
Well, if the penalty is on Kecoughtan, why is it declined?
If it's declined, why would you replay?
Well, if anything, if they're having to replay the ball, they should have moved the ball closer to the goal line. They made him kick it again. It's still up and good, but I'm not real sure about the explanation of that flag. Either way, his kick is up and good as the Crabbers now extend the lead to 21-7.
You're the expert on that one. I don't understand that one. You get a penalty, you decline the penalty, and then you have to replay it once you've kicked it already and it was good.
Well, they called it a dead ball. That's why they kicked it over again, but they didn't move the ball for a penalty, and they said it was declined. I first of all, didn't see the referees give Hampton the opportunity to decline a penalty.
Well, the bottom line is the kick counted no matter what, and with 3:13 left in the 3rd quarter, Hampton High now with a 21-7 lead. You're watching LSC Local Sports Channel live on Cox Cable 48.
Maybe we can send it down to Bob in a minute and get an explanation on that one. Kickoff by Hampton all the way down to the Kecoughtan 7-yard line. He cuts it to the near side, breaks 2 tackles, and is forced out of bounds at the Kecoughtan 34-yard line. Nice run back by Deontay Bracey on the play. So Kecoughtan will take over 1st and 10 with 3:05 to go at their own 33-yard line.
At 14 points down here, the Warriors are going to have to start something going.
Dorsey under center. Hands the ball off to Bracey off the left side all the way to the 40-yard line. Give him 6 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 4. Hey, Bob, what you got down there?
I got Mick McCullough down here. Mick, first of all, explain that last penalty for me.
Well, I think the only thing that I know on that would be possible is the referee just pointed the wrong way. He gave the shift signal, instead of giving encroachment, which is this, against the defense, because if you'll notice, the offense didn't back up, so it obviously can't give you against them. It was against the defense, and they can turn down any penalty. I think that's what they did, because when you take that half the distance, you're going to kick it, the angle changes on the kick. So a lot of teams are just turning that down.
Well, Mike has had trouble with the kick anyway, so this is probably giving his kid more
gives him another opportunity. Yeah, that's a good call. It's a good thing to do, yeah.
Good enough. We'll hang loose. We're going to talk a little later. Let's go back up to the booth.
Thanks, Bob. Thank you for that explanation. We certainly appreciate that. Mick McCullough, the commissioner of referees in the Peninsula District and the area.
I believe that was Bracey on the carry. Up for a first down as the Warriors have the ball now just shy of their own 47-yard line. Dorsey under center. Hands the ball off to Bracey. No, he keeps the ball and goes around the left end. Is going to pick up about 3 yards just outside of the 50-yard line, as he will, looks like they might mark it down near the Hampton 49-yard line. So they're going to give him 4 yards on the carry. That'll bring up a second down and 6.
Warriors continue to have success off the tackles, and they're getting stopped on the outside. They're moving the ball downfield right now, Mike, and as long as they continue to move off the tackles, I think they can continue to move the ball.
Bracey up the middle this time. Again, good yardage as he gets enough yards for the first down, or he's not going to go pull it back about a half yard. He's going to be close. Let's have to wait and see where they mark it.
Until they can stop that play, I would continue to run it.
He has to get to the 43, and that's pretty much where they set the ball, but our referee, Jimmy Mayhew, will pull the chains in and double check to see if he got it. 21-7. Hampton out in front with 1:06 to go here in the third quarter of play.
It is October the 16th, 2008. Yesterday was my sister's birthday.
Well, happy birthday to your sister.
Well, she's older now than she was before, and that's a good thing.
A year closer to you?
She's still much younger than I am. Of course, most people my age are a whole lot younger than I am. Yogi Berra said something like that. Most people my age are dead now, but mine is very similar to that. You like that one, don't you?
Ow. That was a little bit shy of the first down, and Bracey gets the ball, and I tell you what, the Crabber defense may have stopped him again. Let's see where they mark it at. He's got to get over
I don't think
Crabber 43 in order to get it. But it looks like he's got it by, I'm going to say he's got it by 3 inches. What do you think?
I'm going to say shy by about an inch.
I believe he's about a half a football length further than he was a minute ago. So let's see where they mark it.
Well, if he's a half a football further, they better go pick up the rest of the football.
Look at that. What did I tell you?
You got it.
First down kick, they would have gone on a fourth down anyhow there.
Yeah, they would have.
Especially being down by 14, 21-7, with 51 seconds to go here in the third quarter of play. First and 10 from the Hampton 43. Dorsey under center. Hands the ball off to Bracey. Up the middle, he's going to pick up maybe 1.5 yards, 2 at the most, down near the Crabber 41. So give them 2 on the play. That'll bring up second down and 8, as it looks like the entire front line of the Crabbers stopped them on that one. Inch closer and closer to the fourth quarter here with about 15 seconds to go. Second down and 8.
Isn't it nice to be able to see the time right there on the screen?
Yep. Andy does a dandy job doing that. There's flags on the play, and I believe somebody on the line moved for Kecoughtan. Might be going against Kecoughtan.
Dead ball. False start against the offense.
So that'll be a 5-yard penalty. That'll make it second down and 13 as the ball's moved to the Crabber 46. 8 minutes to go.
Kecoughtan hurting themselves here. The last time they had a good drive, they fumbled the ball away. This time, penalties seem to be hurting them.
As the clock runs out before Kecoughtan can get off the play. We're at the end of 3 here at Darlin. Hampton 21 and Kecoughtan 7. Let's send it down the sideline where Bob has Mick McCullough again. Go ahead, Bob.
Thanks, guys. Mick, we watched a game last week when they roughed the kicker on an extra point, and they picked up the flag. And then in the Bethel game, it sounded like the same thing, and they penalized Heritage, and then Bethel ended up kicking field goal, winning the game.
Well, there was a big difference in those two plays, one of which the ball was clearly blocked. I was down here and I saw the game that you were talking about, the Hampton Phoebus game.
That's
right?
Correct.
That ball was blocked. The one at Todd Stadium, where it involved Woodside and Bethel, we couldn't tell whether the ball was touched or not. The rule on that is this: if touching by the defense, it doesn't have to be the kid that's blocking, try to block, the defense, okay, at or near the kicker. At or near the kicker. That's incredibly important, because that's where the foul that's where the contact has to be by the ball on the player. If that happens and contact is unavoidable, then you will not have a foul. If you don't have touching and you have contact, you can have a foul. And when I reviewed the film, which I looked at time and time and time again in very slow motion on 3 different devices, we could never see the ball touch the kid. And when I went into the dressing room immediately after the game, I asked the referee, what did you see? Did you see the balk? He said, I never saw any touching of the kick at all. All I saw was the holder being rough. That's the case. It's got to be rough. Okay. Now, this play you had here with kick-catching interference. Anytime you have the receiver waiting for the ball to come downfield on a punt, you've got to give that player an opportunity to catch the football. And that means he has to catch it, not just touch it. We had one last year in a playoff game here. The kid actually, as he got the ball, the guy just smothered him and knocked him to the floor. That is a foul, because that's kick-catching interference. You've got to give him the opportunity to catch it.
Okay, but the penalty was back on the kicker. Explain
that. By rule. That's by rule. It's a loose ball play, so what you're going to have is you've got a choice. You can accept on the foul, you got the flag. You can accept the ball at that point, which is an awarded fair catch, or you can have the ball back at the previous spot and replay the down, 15-yard penalty. And that's your option. That's it. Nothing.
Well, I don't have to ask you questions. You already know what's going to go. But we got the game going back on, so we go back up to the guys. Thanks, guy.
And the staff right here that does a great job for us. We use these films a lot in our training. So kudos to everybody that works here. And I know you really, really work hard.
Thanks, man.
Okay,
appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Well, we've had a couple of good plays. Dorsey had a nice run for a first down, and then looked like the Crabbers sacked one of the players in the backfield, and long loss on the play. It's going to bring up a second down and 18. There's Bracey up the middle, and looks like Terrell Wilson on the stop, as he's going to pick up maybe 3 on the play, and he'll be short of the Crabber 35. So that's going to bring up about 3rd down, and we'll call it 3rd and 15 for Kecoughtan.
Dorsey, the quarterback for the Warriors, has been the catalyst for Kecoughtan tonight. The best plays that the Kecoughtan has run have been when he's dropped back to pass, couldn't find a receiver, and had to scramble for yardage, and he's been able to pick it up so far.
3rd and 15 at the Crabber, just shy of the Crabber 35. Dorsey back to throw. Over the middle. In and out of the intended receiver, and that intended receiver was number 4, Dominique Hollier,
and
that should have been caught.
He heard footsteps. Watch his head here. Watch him turn his head right there. See, he turned his head and then came back for the ball. He heard footsteps, and that's what hurt right there.
So 4th down and 15 for the Warriors at the Crabber, call it the Crabber 36.
And they're going to go for it.
Well, they're down by 14 points and don't really have a whole lot of choice, as we have 10 minutes to go here, 10-16 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Can't score unless you have the ball.
Dorsey back to pass. Flushed out. If he runs the ball, he's got a lot of room. Terrell Wilson gets him. He doesn't. He gets the first down all the way down to the 20-yard line, where Andy Allison finally makes the play for the Crabbers. And you could hear the coaches over here hollering, run, because he had great vision to get to the right side there.
He's got wide open spaces in front of him, and he just needs to tuck that ball under and take off, which he did. And like I said earlier, Mike, the best play the Warriors have tonight is Dorsey running the ball on the broken play.
Eric Adams also on the stop for the Crabbers, but 1st and 10 for Kecoughtan at the Hampton 20-yard line.
You see the Crabbers on the sideline. You can see Danny Mitchell along with Mike Smith there. Danny with his cards as he holds up the information for the defense.
Dorsey to Bracey up the middle. And he gets about 3 yards on the play. On a stop for the Crabbers was number 63, Alex Taylor. Give him 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7. Ball sits at about the Crabber 17-yard line.
Kecoughtan steadily moving downfield with this controlled ball game. Running, up the middle, up the middle, up the middle.
Well, they're keeping Hampton's offense off the field, too.
Yes, they are.
Dorsey keeps it this time.
Still moving.
Picks up good yardage near the 10-yard line, and he's close to a 1st down.
Looks like we got a player injured on the field there. Andy Allison a little slow getting up. I think he pulled a muscle there or something. Have an official timeout.
I don't even think he has his helmet on right now.
Well, he took it off when they called the time. Real quickly, while we've got a moment, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give you the sponsors for the 4th quarter, who are Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armistead Avenue, Nancy Staten, Director. And Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. Longtime sponsors of Hampton City Schools and student athletes, Zooms. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with some of the best burgers in town. They are delicious. Located at Port Warwick and Jefferson Avenue, and their newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton.
He's close. I think he fumbled the ball. Did Dorsey fumble the ball? And Dorsey fumbled the ball, and the Crabbers have recovered at the 2-yard line.
Twice now, the Warriors have gotten down inside the 5, and twice they have turned the ball over. Twice they've come close to scoring touchdowns. And ladies and gentlemen, I remind you the score is 21-7. Take those 2 turnovers, turn them into scores. We got a tie ball game.
Right.
Going back to our sponsors again, ladies and gentlemen, Kelly's Tavern, Port Warwick, and at Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard, and also Tidewater Team Sports, your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point. Looked like a guy was completely offsides there, but last week the Warriors had caused 4 turnovers, including 3 interceptions, and I believe they were all by West. This week, the shoe's kind of been on the other foot, hasn't it, as the Warriors have been committing committing the turnovers.
No gain on the play, half a yard at the most, so we'll call it 2nd down and a short 10.
Not as big a crowd as we had last week, but fairly decent crowd out there.
Last week you couldn't see the stands.
Well, last week you couldn't see anything at all but a sea of faces.
Hands the ball off to the up back, and I believe it's number 8, I'm sorry, Darius Thomas.
And there's Susan Bowers up there on the right-hand side, one of our wonderful, hi, Susie girl, one of our great camera people out there working in the heat. No air conditioning out there, is there, Susan?
And a 4 on the play. That'll bring 3rd down and 6. The ball sits near right on the Hampton 5-yard line. They got to get to about just outside the 11 in order to get a 1st down. Whole lot of time being run off here. 2 wideouts to the near side. One in motion is Martinez, and he was attempting to try and draw him off, so the Crabbers will call timeout here.
Timeout, Hampton.
There's Braxton.
Hello, Brax. Wave to the crowd. Braxton is over to our left, Susan to our right. Braxton's been with our crew for quite a few years now, does an excellent job.
Since the dinosaurs, they said. Ow.
Don. Shame on you. Where's that Mike? And there's Jean Wheeler. And Renee Camden. Now, she's what I tell you, she's all over the place. Hello, Renee. And in the cold weather, she's freezing out there. And Jean doesn't even offer her a coat. Our great officials from the City of Hampton Police Department. I tell you, Gene Wheeler does a fantastic job for us, ladies and gentlemen. Not only is he a cameraman, he does almost everything that you want him to do around the station. He's always moving. He's one of the most pleasant people you could ever talk to, has a wonderful personality. And I go down there every now and then just to say hello to him and see how he's doing. I really like that young man. He does a good job.
Well, after the timeout, the Crabbers come back on the field. They have a 3rd down and 6. The ball sits right at their own 5-yard line, deep in their own territory. 6:55 to go here in the 4th period. Out in front, 21-7.
Kecoughtan needs to stop the Crabbers right here.
Martinez up the middle. Not much there, I'm telling you. Maybe a yard or 2 at the most, and Kecoughtan will get the ball back. As he gets the ball to the 7-yard line, that will bring up a 4th down punting situation for the Crabbers. Coming in to punt the ball for the Crabbers, number 65, Derek Adams, who got a dandy punt off last time for the Crabbers. As the clock continues to run, as you can see there, as Andy's got the clock shown right there in the middle of the screen.
As we watch one of the Crabber fans with the Crabber hat walking along, that's really cute. I like that.
Punting out of his own end zone. Nice snap. Good kick out to about the 39-yard line. Coming back towards us looks like number 14, and what a hit. As Jake DePriest gets the ball, and he is hammered after about a 5-yard gain. Like number 74 for the Crabbers was one of the initials. That's Godfrey Clinton for the Crabbers.
I don't know who made that hit, but Mike, that was a hit. Andy, make note of that one. You can put that one on your next chart.
So the Crabbers go back on defense here. Watch this.
Watch this hit. Ooh, boom. Right there.
Terrell Wilson, number 66 there, too.
It looked like might have been number 11, Andy Allison that did that.
The 1st and 10 with great field position. The Warriors had the ball 1st and 10 at the Crabber 35 to start this drive. Pickup of about 2.5 on the play. Give them 2 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Time running down. The Warriors are going to have to open this game up a little bit. Once again, I said it earlier, Grant West, the receiver that has 119 yards this season, 17 per game, has been almost non-existent today.
So the Crabbers a little bit of trouble with getting
Hampton
personnel on and off the field, and Mike Smith calls his I believe this is going to be his last timeout, so they don't have any timeouts left in the game. And they substituted a player in, but apparently the player that went in didn't tell the one that was supposed to come off, and confusion abound there. So timeout is called again with the Crabbers out in front with 5:28 to go here in the game, leading Kecoughtan 21-7.
And there's the crucial point right there. If Hampton's ahead 21-7, it's okay to have a little bit of confusion. When you're behind, you don't want any confusion. There you see the Kecoughtan Warriors. Again, I love those old school uniforms, the white with the green and the solid K on the side. That's almost back in my time. Yes, that was way before they had face masks and everything else. I know, not as far back as some of the other people, Mike, but it's a ways back there. Scotty wants to know if they wore overalls instead of uniforms. Most of the people wore shorts. We couldn't afford the overalls.
What you got there? Oh, a little confusion there as Dorsey ends up running with the ball. He got great field position out there as forced out of bounds. And it looks like a little extracurricular activity over there by Dion Funch is going to draw the flag. as Dorsey goes out of bounds inside of the Crabber 25-yard line, and that might be 15.
And that could be another 15 yards from there, and that'll put Kecoughtan a whole lot closer as we watch the play here. Dorsey goes off the right-hand side, fights off some tackles, and here you see it right there.
It's the defense.
So this is going to end up being a half a distance to the goal. See, from the 22, that should put it at about the 11, huh? And that's about right where the guy sets it. So 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line for the Warriors. Clock continues to run down to 5:20 to go, trailing the Crabbers 21-7. Tell you what, I bet you Dorsey's got as many yards as Martinez does today.
Doesn't he? Ought to be pretty daggone close, I can tell you that. Ooh, that ball almost went to the Crabbers number 66, Tyrell Wilson. Watch this, Mike.
And
here's
off the
handoff
bracing
right
and bang.
there, and Tyrell Wilson is, boom, on it. Nobody blocked it.
Got a yard on the play to the 10-yard line. 2nd down and 9. They can get a 1st down, by the way, if they get near the 1.
How near?
On the 1.
On the 1.
On the 1.
On the 1.
2nd down and 9. Dorsey hands the ball to Bracey again. Off the right side. Nice defensive play on the play. On the stop is number 24 is on the stop.
Tackle by Deion Putch.
No, that's not Ronald Curry. It is number 1, but that's
Kevin Johnson for the Crabbers.
That was number 5 for Kecoughtan that had the ball. We thought it went to Bracey, and Dorsey hung
kept
to it.
A little trickery keeps the ball away from us too, even with the camera there. 4:25 to go here in the game. Kecoughtan trails 21-7, and they have a 3rd down and 6. Ball sitting at the Crabber 7-yard line.
You're watching Thursday Night Football on LSC, local sports channel. You're watching it on Cable Cox Channel 48. LSC, local sports channel, bringing you all the sports from the Hampton City Schools and bringing you some oldies but goodies from back in the day.
Well, I was close. Dorsey has 108 yards on tonight. Martinez has 111 yards.
Woo. Let's see, I'm not a math teacher.
2 weeks in a row.
That's 3 yards different.
That's a two weeks in a row now that Martinez has kind of been kept in check. And Hampton's going to have a tough one next week as they will be playing the Bethel Bruins here next Friday night,
Mike,
live.
Bracey has 83 yards.
Quarterback keeper up the middle by Dorsey gets the ball down inside the 5. He will be about a yard shy of the 1st down to about the 3. Let's see where they mark it. Bring it up 4th down and 2. Bracey has how many yards?
Bracey has 83 yards, so Kecoughtan has somewhere around 194 yards, almost 200 yards rushing, and only 7 points. And that tells you how big a key that turnovers have played in this game.
4th down and 2 from the 3-yard line. Key play here for the Warriors as the clock continues to run down to 3:45 to go. And off to Bracey over the left side, in for the score as Kecoughtan draws to within 8. The extra point attempt coming. Bracey scores from the 3 yards out, and that makes it Hampton 21 and Kecoughtan 13.
As we watch the replay, how big do those turnovers come up now, Mike, as he goes right in for the score following a huge hole. Kecoughtan playing Hampton toe-to-toe here tonight.
Kyle Lawrence in to attempt the extra point.
Hampton getting the breaks tonight, as I believe the Kecoughtan Warriors have out-statistic the Crabbers tonight.
Kick is up long enough and straight enough. It is good. So with 3:39 to go here in the 4th quarter play, the Hampton Crabbers lead the Kecoughtan Warriors 21-14. Timeouts are key here, guys. Hampton none. Kecoughtan still has 2.
Watch this kick by the Warriors. This young man has a great foot. He's shown us this all night long with his strong point after.
Also
right
a sophomore.
He's a soccer player.
Grader. So what do you think? Are you going to get us onside kick here?
That would be my guess, yes. Definitely. Kecoughtan has enough confidence in their defense because tonight they've done a great job of holding down the Crabbers, and I think they're willing to take that chance to go get it, and I think Hampton thinks they're going to go with the onside kick because they're setting up their line with some quick, good hands people right now. They're all going to the opposite side.
Jeff Emerson is lining up for the kick, and all but 2 players for Hampton are right up on the line. And here is the kick, and Kecoughtan was offside, but the penalty wasn't called. He kicks it deep to Martinez inside the 20, out to the 25, and he's still going down to about the 32-yard line. So Martinez will get about 15 yards on the return, and Hampton will have possession 1st and 10 with 3:33 to go here in the 4th quarter of play.
Surprise here as we both thought it was going to be an onside kick. Martinez taking the ball into decent territory to where Hampton has plenty of room to work. They're going to go to work, and I'm going to guarantee you they're going to go to work on the ground.
Well, Kecoughtan can stop the clock twice here in the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so they've got plenty of time to be able to get the ball back here.
They're just going to have to make sure that they work that clock judiciously.
Allison and Futch are wide to the near side, handed off, and he is hammered at the line of scrimmage. He might not have even gotten back to the line as the ball was handed off to Martinez, and nothing going there. He might have lost a yard.
Watch number 11, Hakeem Garner, come right through there on the blitz and wrap up Martinez right there. Nice defensive blitz by the Warriors. Number 11, Hakeem Garner.
Loss of a yard on the play. 2nd down and 11 for the Crabbers. 3 minutes to go here in the game. They sure are taking a long time to get this play off, too. 2 wide outs to the far side, 1 to the near.
Here comes the blitz again.
Handed the ball off again to Martinez. He might pick up 2, and that's it. As Kecoughtan has called a timeout here.
Kecoughtan.
That will bring up a 3rd down and 9 as
Watch
the ball.
This. Number 13 up the middle. Number 11 on the right-hand side. Both linebackers blitzing, clogging up the middle. Martinez with nowhere to go. Finds a little seam where he's able to squeeze through and pick up a couple of yards.
You know what's ironic is the fact that that play has not worked most all night. It really hasn't. Martinez has really had a hard time running the ball up the middle.
Well, the Warriors have played some good defense
play
tonight. They've played some excellent defense against the Crabbers.
Played a great game tonight defensively. Offensively, they've kept the ball out of the hands of Martinez. And with 1 timeout left and 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the 4th, Hampton has a 3rd and long. Call it 3rd and 9.
Saw the stands there. Looks like a lot of the people have left this game, and it's a close one. I would have stuck around.
Well, this game is by far not over with. If Kecoughtan can come up with a stop here without him getting a 1st down, that will be big because it'll force Hampton into punting. Back to pass. Being flushed out of the pocket, on the move to the 40 and forced out of bounds. And that was a mistake right there. He went out of bounds and stopped the clock.
I'm not sure what was going through his mind there. I know he's trying to get around the corner, but going out of bounds, like you said, Mike, that was a little bit of a mistake. That helps Kecoughtan.
They gained about 5 on the play. That'll bring up 4th down and 3. And what a mistake this was. I mean, it looked like he was heading for out of bounds.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, that's the youth and the quarterbacking right there. That is a play that you're all automatically staying in bounds to force them to use that last timeout. But instead, Kecoughtan's going to get the ball back, and they still have a timeout. So Hampton will punt. Nice end-over-end punt taken out about the 26. And down he goes at the 31. So Kecoughtan has the ball 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line with 2:22 to go. Plenty of time to score here, guys.
Nice punt, and we're going to get for the Warriors about a 8, 9, 10-yard return, putting it in good field position with 2:22 left in the game. And this is probably going to be the series right here that's going to determine whether this game goes on or whether it ends.
Well, you would think that the Crabber defense would have somebody specific keying on Dorsey. Here we go. 1st and 10. Dorsey fumbled. Dorsey fumbled a handoff. I believe he was able to pick the ball back up. Terrell Wilson will get the stop on the play as Dorsey gets back to the line of scrimmage. Timeout is now called by the referees.
Having a hard time holding on to that football tonight, Mike, and this is not the time to be losing it. Like we had a player that might have been injured there, but he seems to be okay as he pops right back up.
I guarantee you Coach Smith wants the clock running right there, and it wasn't. So no gain on the place. Back to pass, and there's Martinez on the run. Ball skips, it's incomplete, and I tell you what, Dorsey's lucky because he had 3 Crabbers right on him, along with Martinez chasing him from the safety spot as he blitzed the line.
It appeared that whole left side of the Warrior line just totally broke down, and 3 Crabbers came rushing in.
Terrell Wilson and Martinez, and along with, I think it was 85.
Yeah. Dorsey was lucky to be able to get that pass off in the direction of a receiver, but that puts Kecoughtan in a precarious position as it's 3rd and 10.
A bump is also in on that play. Again, 3rd and 10. Dorsey will drop back to pass again. A little short pass over the middle. He's going to be short of the first down, as I believe it was completed to Bracey. It was Bracey at the Kecoughtan 43-yard line. And Kecoughtan will use their last timeout, but that's going to bring up a 4th down and about 4 now. So Hampton's defense is coming alive here.
Mike, on that replay, you could see the entire Warrior offensive line just totally broke down, and the Crabbers collapsed it all around. And Dorsey was lucky to get that pass off. Watch the Warriors. They're just collapsing. And look at the pressure by the Crabbers as they come around the ends to box Dorsey in. And he's open game right there.
Very good job being able to get that see that receiver when he threw it, too. Because he was about ready to get dropped in the backfield.
Exactly. It comes down to this, Mike. 4th down and 4. The Warriors make it here, or they go off the field down by 7, 21-14, and Hampton takes over with about a minute and a half to go.
Kecoughtan's got to get the ball near their own 47. Let's see what happens here. Almost got back there in the back, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield for a loss of about 8 yards, all the way back to their own 36-yard line. And that's number 85 for the Crabbers on the stop, Shea Bumpus, and he's been in the backfield all night long. So the Crabber defense comes up big when they needed to. Terrell Wilson also in on the stop.
Mike, when we started the evening, we said that one of the keys for Hampton was the fact that their defense was tough, but they'd allowed 204 total yards, 125 on the ground. Kecoughtan has moved it on the ground, but they've been able to contain that running game, and they've blitzed and they forced Kecoughtan into making mistakes. And those mistakes tonight for the Warriors have been costly.
Here we go with a minute and 38 to go here in the 4th. Crabbers out in front 21-14. And they should just down the ball here. And that's exactly what Walford will do. He'll take a snap, drop back a couple yards, and down it. So the clock will continue to run. They'll get 25 seconds after the ball is reset. We also have to pick our players of the game, so we're scrambling here to do that. I think Kecoughtan's a no-brainer. Oh, yeah. Big for Hampton. Yes. Flag on the play.
Dead ball. Encroachment against the defense.
So
5-yard
encroachment on Kecoughtan will be a 5-yard penalty.
Here we see the replay. The Warriors coming off sides.
Not much they can do about it now with 55 seconds on a running clock. As soon as Andy gets their player of the games up on the board there, we'll show it to everybody. And he will probably take a knee. Take 2 steps back, drop down, as we'll probably have one more play before the game will end.
And if I were the Crabbers, I'd just go ahead and let this clock run down, take the 5-yard penalties, take a knee, and go home to the air conditioning.
Next week, live here on Channel 48, LSC, we will have the Hampton Crabbers. Next Friday, we'll be playing Bethel, and Thursday night, we will have the Kecoughtan Warriors, who will be playing the Phoebus Phantoms here live. So 2 games next week, Thursday night and Friday night. What you got there? Martinez, 31 carries, 112 yards, and Dorsey, 18 carries for 103 yards. And that is the final score here as the contest has ended here at Darling Stadium. Final score is the Hampton Crabbers 21 and the Kecoughtan Warriors 14. I tell you what, Kecoughtan gave the Crabbers all they could handle.
They did that, Mike. Their defense
turnovers
was very good. Their offense moved up and down the field. I think their time of possession is going to be greater than that of the Crabbers, but unfortunately, turnovers hurt.
That's what killed Hampton last week against Phoebus, and so you know it's real obvious that turnovers at this level are going to hurt a team. And both times that Kecoughtan turned the ball over, they were inside of Hampton's 5-yard line, so it could have gone the other way if they had been able to hold on to the ball. Andy got our player of the games yet? Again, the final score here at Darling Stadium on Thursday night, October the 16th, on a warm, muggy evening. Final score is Hampton 21 and Kecoughtan Warriors 14. There are our players of the game. For the Kecoughtan Warriors, Anthony Dorsey, 18 carries, 103 yards, and Tron Martinez for the Crabbers, 31 carries for 112 yards. And I tell you what, that was a workmanlike effort by Martinez, because Kecoughtan's defense obviously was keying on Martinez tonight.
Oh, they sure were, and he had to work for every bit of that yardage, but he did. And after last week, this has got to be a big boost to him as well as to the Crabbers themselves.
That'll give him over 1,400 yards, I believe, on the season. So he's well on his way to getting that 2,000 yard, and he still has 3 more games left to get it. So if he has another real good game, he might do that.
You've been watching LSC Local Sports Channel live, and we'd like to thank everybody for watching us tonight, and we hope you join us next week. Local Sports Channel, LSC, live from Darling Stadium, October the 16th, 2008. Tonight's broadcast has been sponsored by Zooms. We're proud to have David Allen and Zooms sponsoring us again this year. Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with 2 locations on the peninsula, Fort Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, and their newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And in part by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home, both inside and out. And by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com. And by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armistead Avenue, Nancy Staten, Director.